Yesterday's conspiracy theories, tomorrow's headlines. Most are still asleep and I ain't talking about no bedtime. The truth is not a Google search, you need to get your head right. The Greek goddess of illusion was called Media I'm not a coincidence theorist, I look for thread lines. Smashing every deadline, no longer smashing red wine. Though I can hear the bells chime, it feels like the end times. That probably should have been smashed on red wine, but the carnal mind is foolish. Obey and end up foolish. Don't get used by instinct, take control and learn to use it. Make a load of earnest music, earn a few quid, learn a few tricks. Sure, the truth is persecuted, this whole world is pure abusive. Know a bit about everything and everything about nothing. Figured out my noggin while you picture out shopping. You sit about watching while I dish it out, stop it. I don't mean to sound cocky, I'm not even proud of it. It's a second itch to me just to be this out honest. I don't even need to sound honest, never been about profit. Everything but out on it, you can bet your house on it. Doubt I'll be out for the count when the sounds, and I'm down for the beat, no beat down. I mean, how long's it been? Help me out. I've been the only one who's held me down. All in the mind, hell freeze now. Still sick with it, healthy how? Few bars down and the world freaked out. I don't reach out, I seek out to speak out. I'ma recount the reasons they beat out.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the 509 Divine Pints Podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Daniel Pena. It is November 19th, 2025. We are getting high. We are having a vibe, man. And it is a wonderful time out here with the Yakima 420 Club and our special guest tonight, Queen of the Sungrown. This is a Washington State special, and I thank you guys for being here in the chat already. If you guys could, please like, subscribe, and share. Tell everybody around that this is going down. And guys, this is the time to be thankful in life because, you know, so much things are happening out here, especially in the cannabis community. We've seen this hemp bill that is now like straight up taking away all of the good things that we knew about the last like 6 years. It was just seemed nationwide where that, you know, we had freedom. We had these Delta 8s, we had these CBDs, these CBGs, these CBNs. We had all these evolutions all across the state. People were, you know, very invigorated. We seen the elderly out in the shops again. We've seen, you know, just a calming of what we know as like that propaganda, right? You know, we got rid of it for a while, but then like this hemp bill is now coming in and threatening that. But you know, we can do our part, I guess, like buy our own community and be there and, you know, still teach each other about like how to use the minimalist of things to heal what we got. And yeah, man, it's a rough
revolution,
enduring time. It's a rough but enduring time. And thank you guys, for being here. That was just a quick intro. If you guys could tell them about yourself real quick and introduce yourself.
Go ahead.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm actually streaming into my channel, too. So everybody on Queen of the Sungrown, thank you for hopping in here. We chilling tonight. You know, I've been on the show before. I don't even know what we're talking about this evening, but I'm excited to be here with you. I can talk all things pot. I've been, you know, growing commercially for almost 10 years now. I write for Seedsman. I write for Humboldt Seed Company, tons of blogs. I've got Patreon, podcast, and my most, like, probably the best thing I've got going on right now, my favorite thing, is the Blaze Project. So if you haven't heard of it, and this is your first time listening, check it out at queenofthesungrown.com. I am, as the name suggests, an outdoor grower. I fully support growing your own weed, and with this bill being passed that's trying to take away our rights and push us back into a prohibition state, there's no better time than to grow your own dope. There's no reason to buy from a dispensary, and the Blaze Project is exactly that. So Blaze is about growing weed outside and tracking it across the United States, how it flowers in different growing zones and in different latitudes. So botanical latitude and zone evaluation. This past year, Seedsman, we did the purple Oreos, which I've got a jar of. That was our indica leaning strain. And then we did strawberry banana grape for our sativa leaning strain. And we had 85 people this year. This is our second year. Growing both strains all across from, here in Eastern Washington to fucking Kentucky, Florida, all over the place. So it was really fucking fun. And if you want to know more, just sign up for my newsletter, and we're getting ready to plan next year's Blaze. But
And don't forget this 10% code, Blaze.
Yeah. 10%.
So you guys grow medical?
We grow what we want.
That's right.
So it's pretty much I-503.
I-502. I have my
Well,
medical license.
I-502 is sold in dispensaries.
Okay. No, I don't know.
503 is pretty much black market.
Oh, traditional market, I like to say.
Yeah. Okay.
My husband has cystic fibrosis, so he has his medical card so that we can have 15 plants. And if you're growing clones, it's the same plant, so I don't really count that.
Neither do I.
But
just a quick reference, if you guys want. Also, this is from B Realty. This is a free shout out. Cali Blaze, he has all the good stuff too. And well, I mean, we're not gonna say how. Just go do your research, and if you want, there it is.
There you go. I like that. I like how the medical part is still a good community. I like that.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty wild when moving from California to Washington, how hypocritical of our state. I was born here, moved back. So don't hate me from being from California. The medical patients, just with the whole recreational, and now it's illegal to grow your own weed, even though it's recreationally legal. It's like mind boggling to me that the state can make millions of dollars in taxes from a regulated industry, but it's still a felony to grow your own plants unless you have a medical license. It's like, what kind of corruption is that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty fucked.
Yeah, everybody has different ways of doing things, I myself, I am a actual cannabis influencer from the state of Washington who started in the medical industry. I'm also now in the recreational industry where my name is actually sold in over 152 recreational state dispensaries across the state. And all I do is I just talk about weed, smoke weed, and enjoy it with people having good vibes and learning new things. So
Nice,
I literally just enjoy new products from new different areas. Part of the whole recreational industry, making it recreational and not having to be illegal. And I strongly support in what you're doing. So
Yeah,
good. I mean, I
I
know
was.
I remember the struggle of how it was for us when I first started doing my shows and having farms not believing in what I do, because I literally speak my mind and I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't talk to
same.
I talk to the farm owners like if they're normal people, because that's all they are to me, is normal people. They're just because you own a weed farm don't mean that you're any bit bigger or better than the person that buys your weed, because if it wasn't for the person that bought your weed, you wouldn't have be in the same where you're at. So, and now that like our farm was just recently bought from a big industry, a big foreign industry, and now my names get sold out of Tacoma. I'm actually with a new company in Tacoma, but the farm I was with would just literally like just dropped everybody, like all the employees, everybody. They moved in, and all of us had no more jobs. So it sucked pretty bad for us. and so I truly believe in people trying to grow their own and maybe grow something that they never thought they could.
Yeah, I came from the rec market in California. I had a Prop 64 farm there, and I sold in the dispensaries in San Francisco, Berkeley, Sacramento, Oakland. And it was a real fun time. Did medical and rec, but when prices of weed dropped, I can make more money doing content creation, writing, and education, and less stress and hassle. I had my last year on my farm in Cali, I got ripped off by like 100 pounds someone stole, and I was just like, I'm kind of fucking sick of dispensaries not paying their tabs, people stealing shit from me, and I got a baby now, so I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean?
So luckily here in the state of Washington, we actually you get paid upon delivery. So if you don't pay for it, it don't stay there and it goes right back to the driver.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I mean,
So
Do they pay for gas?
the own
that's
Do
king.
they pay for gas?
actually no. So what happens is
Shit.
if you're hiring a delivery service to deliver your weed to the stores, the return actually gets put onto the bill of that company as well.
Okay,
So
cool. That makes sense then.
yep. So once they have the fund for it and the package is delivered, everything normally is set for a certain date, certain time for them to pick it up and drop checks off and do the exchanges at the stores. It's really cool system. So I mean,
no sponsorship, but shout out Sungaze, a Washington State legend already.
that's my boy right there.
Queen, you like these?
I haven't had one. Honestly, I don't buy anything from a dispensary.
This shit is worth it. This is the only thing, like, as a drink wise, this I fucking love them. They're fucking nice.
Doug is an amazing guy.
Tasty,
Love them
smooth,
guys.
and
Yep, they're right here out of 5092, right out of Moxie.
Okay, cool.
Really cool guys.
Yeah, I love edibles. I love low dose edibles, especially, but I usually just make, I fucking bake my own bread. I got chickens. I'm not, I'm making my own edibles too. I got one of those Levo machines recently.
I love it because it reminds me of where we used to be when we were younger too. I don't want to be good. I hate having to pay the 37% taxes on cannabis.
I hate paying taxes.
I really hit the shop.
Huh?
Tax is a bitch, yeah, but I really.
Oh, you lagged out there.
You're cutting out, and you're muted actually. But yeah, I wish that everybody would refuse to like pay their taxes. We see all this bullshit happening with cannabis and in the world in general. If we really wanted to make a change, we would stop fucking paying our taxes all at the same time and buying from these mega corporations that are poisoning us.
But I'll be honest with you. Because I, as an influencer in the cannabis industry, I'm a big advocate of our industry, and because of some of the farms in our industry, 509 Divine Pine and myself are going to be able to feed almost 32 families a Thanksgiving dinner this year, with everybody coming together as we did. As short time as we did.
Right here we have the fundraiser on GoFundMe. If you guys would like. We're going to be giving out turkeys and chillin' sorbets from Tri-Cities. We'll be giving out sorbets. So it's going to be a great time here this Thanksgiving. We're able to give back and provide for people the way that society needs it. So if you guys would, the GoFundMe is in the chat.
And big shout out to Old McDonald Farms and Randy on behalf of Fire Cannabis. Yeah, if it wasn't for them guys, this couldn't be happening. So I big shout out to them guys.
It also helps us like really establish a positive connection with cannabis and the society, because we've seen all of these rappers and we've seen all of these influencers really bastardize cannabis and really like demean it and just make it look stupid with the bottles and the pills and the blunts and the prostitutes and all their music videos and everything. It's demeaning to society, and the youth or even elderly need to understand like there's a more positive way to use this. I mean, even the elderly were hit with the propaganda all back in the day. It's kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is our God-given right. Cannabis was made for us by God, and it is part of our body, part of our just a fractal of the universe. So we're all connected to it. So it's truly believe that it's a spiritual connection to Mother Nature and to yourself. It really grounds you and pulls you inward. I think that that whole vibe of weed and gangster and this and that is just kind of part of the propaganda.
That's and honestly, it's not even if people see that as the cannabis industry, then they're looking through a wrong glass, because the part of the cannabis industry that I'm in, we're nothing like that. Honestly, we are
Right.
about
Okay.
helping our community. We're about having good vibes with great people. We're not looking for trouble. We're just wanting to chill and smoke and pass the good word about cannabis to people,
Yeah.
and the techniques and styles that we all different farms grow. So, I mean, yeah, it's when people try to say that the cannabis industry is this shell that we're not. I'm here to prove that it's not that. It's not that at all.
Yeah,
So
my
this
niche of the cannabis
Don't
industry
judge.
is all nerds that are trying to figure out what type of bacteria to use to outcompete botrytis and, not gangsters at all. We've got microscopes and
Not
soil
gangsters at
tests.
all.
Yeah, fertilizer
Yeah.
enhancement. I'm really into the biome and the mycorrhizal and how we can like heal everything through. It's not even just our cannabis, like our veggies, our herbs, our fruits, our trees, all of that, and it thrives. It really thrives. I've seen a huge improvement in, using electroculture with this through cannabis research and hearing podcasters talking about this. It's been a positive thing. What do you think that is going to happen now over the next 2 years with this hemp bill, though? Like, so as Yakima
Now,
420, though, like
honestly,
Sonny, you had mentioned like your company is coming in and it cleared house, right? For what I was going to mention earlier is that what I see happening is like an AI takeover with the dispensaries, and more vending machines, more bots that are going to go ahead and serve you your weed, and so yeah, like employees are going to be kicked out. And if they're going to bring that automation into like a recreational market, which is what some of these big wigs might just want to do, like where does it lead us? We're still going to be here, but where does it lead the society? Are they going to have to go to like Walmart, do you think, and
no,
just like get it from
no,
there?
no.
Amazon tried to push it
I
a
so
couple
this
years
is
ago.
this is so this is honestly what this bill, and this is what people's not realizing. What that bill of them stopping this hemp stuff going and being sold in these glass shops, what people don't realize is a lot of these glass shops are also selling spice as THCA.
Oh,
So people are buying synthetic weed in their disposables, and they're supposedly hemp products, which it's not hemp THC, period. So this is what they're trying to stop and prevent. And if you have to go to a dispensary just like any other marijuana person who wants to consume marijuana has to do, then okay, I mean, do it.
Grow your
That's all
own.
there is to it. I mean, if they're trying to stop and prevent people from other countries selling you a disposable right over the counter, and you're thinking you're buying THCA and it's calming you down, you're not realizing you're actually smoking synthetic
so
weed.
but right, but with so they're trying to decriminalize, not decriminalize, but lower it on the federal level too, right? So they're
No,
trying
they,
to
they already did. They
exactly.
lowered it from a class A to a class C.
Okay, so then now that means they can sell it in stores, right?
No, no. It's still a federally controlled
This,
substance.
At a
I
pharmacy,
think
they can
this
sell it at
is
a
just a
pharmacy
money
though.
grab. This is just pharmaceutical companies, alcohol industry, big tobacco trying to get controlled. We've already set up a framework with the recreational market within states. And then there's a thriving billion-dollar hemp industry of isolates going through the smoke shops. They're watching, they're learning, they're taking over, consolidating businesses. And the United States is going to be running and selling weed just like they sell tobacco and alcohol.
That's what I figured, because I mean I remember a couple years
I
ago
don't think it's gonna happen.
came Amazon. Oh my god, Jesus. Damn it, Jeff Bezos. What does want to talk about this shit? Amazon came out with a bill to, like, they tried making a contract with the government to sell the weed out and ship it out like an RX, just like they do with a prescription and everything.
Mhm.
And I know some states do have a RX delivery system through the medical side, right? There that some people can get it.
Not Washington State.
Right, but some other states, I believe, that they're using that system.
Yeah, I mean, think about bootleggers. You know, back during Prohibition, you still see bootleggers out there like running the businesses. Not a lot
for
of them.
sure.
I mean, there's still people who are just going to be like home growers and still doing it.
Yep.
But the more business gets involved, the more money gets involved. It's just going to consolidate like every other business in America. It just goes down to smaller and smaller shareholders.
The more and more of the mom and pop weed farms are going to disappear.
Yes.
Because more of the corporation style or foreign entity styles are taking over the bigger farms now. Like, so in the recreational industry, there's 3 different tiers. There's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. All the tier 1s and tier 2s are pretty much owned by mom and pops. The tier 3s that pretty much produce, process, and distributes, those are owned by higher demand companies like Fat Panda and like other bigger major companies, you know. And if they haven't figured it out by then, there's other foreign entities that come over, and they just, like our company, they just came in. We were in a hole. Our boss didn't know how to run shit, so he ran it into the ground. $5 million company just got sold for like 1.2 million, and now they're like a thriving company, and nobody knows where their product's being sold at.
Yeah.
Literally, it's when they're literally telling you that they make $1,200 a pound in Florida compared to $350 a pound here in Washington.
Damn,
Do
what is
these
that?
public market farms sell?
That's both. Indoor out.
Pound?
$350 a pound for indoor.
Ooh,
And
we need to talk. You got that?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't got that.
Let's
I
go.
don't got that. But I know. I do know people that
We can talk
well,
after.
you all know. All I know is our company right now, we're coming out with a very nice rare strain called Black Cadillac. I know we're one of the first farms that is going to be producing this strain here in the Pacific Northwest.
And is this like a Landrace OG strain, or would this be like
It's
what
a
they
hybrid.
call government weed?
No, this is not. What do you mean by government weed?
That's
Because
what
honestly,
that's what I'm trying to wonder.
there's no such thing as government weed. Like, I personally, like, I've grown Jinx genetics with no problem,
No,
and
yeah.
I also grow DJ Shore Blueberry with no problem. I know they're not they're highly, you know what I'm saying. I also
Okay.
grow Humble Seeds.
What I mean, so speculatively, there's been different instances where we have seen government establishments make weed. Now, I'm wondering as far as how far the speculation truth really sticks. So when we look at, I've personally known people who were in military and they were growing weed. So I wonder if they were growing military type grade weed. I've heard of, from around the conspiracy mills, psychological, military grade type of people making pharmaceutical grade weed to make these rappers get all psychosis in some of these ways. And put them under. So hold on, wait, and then we understand that places like UW and these other college universities have also been known to create strains. And I'm not gonna say that like, hey, all this weed is fake, trash, blah. It's all government weed. What I mean is that in some way, we do know that this terpene and cannabinoid essence of the full spectrum of these plants, in some ways, some of them are stripped, some of them are manipulated, and to which degree, are we seeing these? And as far as yours, bro, I believe yours is cool. Like I'm just fucking with you, but like it's like in reality though, there is some type of aspect that like. Like, okay, what about this? When we know in the 50s and 60s and 70s, the 20 people who were actually allowed medical cannabis, they would get it in the tins. Where's that coming from? We know it's somewhere in Kentucky. We know it's somewhere in Alabama or some
back
shit.
then it was more government controlled because
That's what I'm
of
saying.
that style.
But how much is trickled into it from some of these big wig farms?
So what people don't realize, the government actually owns over like 52 different patents in cannabis.
Strains?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
They own over 52 patents and strains. I thought, bro, I mean, honestly, it's not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy. All you got to do is just Google how many patents does the United States own, and it will tell you. They're wide open with it. When they abolished cannabis in 1942 and brought out that reefer madness, it was all a deploy to control cannabis, like she said, in the medical market industry, and they also got rid of like cocaine that was in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it was
all at the same time.
Paper and oil industry.
Yeah.
That shut down because
Look at that.
hemp was out competing. It was cheaper to produce, better to produce for paper, oil, all types of. It just wiped out entire industries and
You see that
or
right
could
there,
have.
That's Black Cadillac right there.
It's
Hey,
really dark.
I can do a test review. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do a test review for you. I'm gonna drop by.
Nice.
That looks awesome, dude. Nice nug formation.
Yeah, it's all pretty.
Hey, I'm gonna show up at 350.
Like the dark purple. Yeah, I know, right? 350, man.
Yeah.
That's not no 350.
No, so check this out. I found
that's recreational. That's recreational. That's only available in your local I-502. That's my personal stash.
Personal stash has got way more points added to it. That's for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Check this out, guys. This is an actual article to match with this. This is 12 cannabis plant patents and counting. So this is from, I don't know exactly what company, but like owns the patents. But no, there's definitely patents on this, and yeah, it's wild. It is wild.
Don't you remember Pineapple Express when they're testing the weed down there? Item 9 banned. I thought it's like that's predictive programming. They put the stuff in the movies to tell us, kind of hide things that they've already been doing. It's like for sure the government is on top of all of this. They know what's happening.
So it says right here, this is just a short.
It's like when they said there's no such thing as aliens, and now they're slowly introducing them. And now they're talking about how this comet that they've been monitoring is now sending energy waves from Tel Aviv.
3i Atlas, dude, this is so crazy.
Alien
so you see what I'm saying? They literally had to slowly introduce this to us, like the movie Paul.
They try to mimic natural everything. They try to mimic everything natural and create their own.
And then everybody got related to it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready for it now. I watch Men in Black."
Yeah,
this is wild. So it says right here in 2020, there's 9 cannabis plants patented by Biotech Institute. What kind of name is that, man? It's not even a hippie type of name. Biotech Institute. I'm a lab.
No.
Yeah. Wow. So it says patent 31,535, patent 31,724, patent 31,752. Oh my goodness. Yo. And it's the same thing with the mushrooms, right? Yeah, I imagine so. But these people are here.
Same as mushrooms.
That's trying to mess up the rhythm of what society knows as
what it is it's high-tech companies hiring some really good stoner nerds and giving them the access to what they want to do.
Probably from Tel Aviv and shit. But you know what? So Sam Tripoli always talks about this, and now it clicks in me. So he says these days it's that government weed that these people are on with these carts, these fake yards, but not even just that, but also the dispensary stuff where it's not even where people are high anymore. They'll be smoking all day, but it's like they're tweaked out when like they're tripping out, they're going under psychosis. Nothing seems right because they're like addicted to this fake artificial stuff with like added terpenes and added chemicals and sprayed with xylitol and all sorts of bad stuff. Like I was in the military and I personally know like fucking stay away from all these chemicals. Screw that. Like when I see that, I run. I'm like, yeah, get that away from me. I don't want no, sprayed ass weed. Last time I seen sprayed weed, it made me trip out. And you know what's a problem right now in New York? This is word from the streets, and even people out there. It's all over TikTok and Instagram. You'll see it in New York in certain places. They're selling out bagged weed of sprayed weed. They call it sprayed weed, and so they do. They spray like WD-40. They spray like paint. They spray all sorts of different chemicals in it. Put it in a huge bag, and then they shake it up, and then they got the different strains. They got the banana orange. They got the the grape crush and all this different stuff, and it's like with paint and with different chemicals.
And that's the THCA products that they're trying to get out of the glass shops that you're buying.
Well, no, it's different. This stuff is
it's not different.
Super spray.
It is not different.
Okay, so
it is not. You literally just proved the point.
My bad. I don't know anything about the THCA, so talk about.
You just proved the point.
What are we saying with what are we seeing there? I know because I have a homie who's over here in the Midwest or the middle of the state.
You literally just proved the point on that's why they're getting rid of it and not making it available for you to buy in the stores.
I think that's just more propaganda that the government's putting out there, that it's, there's people taking shortcuts for sure, spraying pesticides, fucking spraying terps, but people in the rec market are doing that as well. I think that
they do, and honestly, they do, because honestly, we are a natural extract company based out of Tacoma, and we actually blast for multiple farms. I'm not going to mention the farm's name that we just blasted for, but they are a top shelf farm that just got blown for pesticides.
Yeah, it happens. And you know what? I think that the government, like, you hear these stories too of fucking fentanyl in weed. That's the government. Right. That's not fucking weed growers or people on the street selling. That is the government trying to just fucking
cartels and different gang organizations, and terrorist organizations.
And those are the guys. And those are the guys trying to find the loopholes to sell their THCA on the market. And not have to go get it tested like how the cannabis farms do.
Most THCA farmers I know are just rec farmers that are backdooring shit, or hemp farmers because the market's crashed. I don't know that many THCA farmers that are like, oh, I want to cut all these loopholes and do all the shitty things. It's most people just hungry, trying to make it work. And these companies
so in these states that we don't see legalization, they call it gas station carts, gas station gummies, because at the gas station they'll have Delta 8 and all this different stuff. What are those for all the viewers out there?
My mic for my torch.
What are all those? Do you know?
The isolates?
Whatever they are, because they're in states that are not legal.
Yeah. So Delta 9, Delta 8 are just isolates of THC.
And when they're found with fake stuff, how is it? How?
No, derived from hemp, and THCA specifically is literally just weed. Okay, so get this. The mother molecule of all cannabinoids is CBG. CBG, as the plant grows, converts into a whole array of cannabinoids. And the majority of THC shows up in plants as THCA. So that is acid molecule at the end that has to be broken off by decarboxylation. So that's oxygen, that's heat, that's that chemical change that's converting it to THC and getting you high. THCA needs to be converted. So if you cut your weed early, you're going to have a higher percentage of THCA. Also, certain strains are going to have a higher percentage of THCA. And to slow down the oxidation that happens from drying and curing, a lot of the times they're freeze drying the weed so that it dries instantly and not having the THCA convert into THC. So the loophole was just getting it under that, 0.3%. But there literally is no difference between hemp and cannabis. It is the same plant. It's just different ratios of chemical metabolites within the plant. So they're
I
all
mean,
there though. It's just
but
all
it's
different
also been
ratios.
genetically stripped apart on purpose, right? Because like we see the older plants, they had more of a combination. Am I correct?
Well, you're talking about isolates versus THCA, which is
No, no, no. I'm talking
completely
about the hemp
different.
versus cannabis plant, like the more sativas versus the hemp of the CBD. Like nowadays, because of the recreational and the medical markets, they have very very refined stuff like Charlotte's Web, where it's like pure CBDs and stuff. And then we have these strains that are specifically high THCs, and then
Yeah, that's selective breeding. That's selective breeding, finding, testing, keeping that strain. Hey, oh, this test at this, I'm going to breed it with this, keep going, chasing numbers, and also manipulation of labs. But like high, the Delta 8s and the Delta 9s, those are isolates that are derived in a lab breaking down like, hey, I'm looking for this single molecule. Like, I mean, you've smoked THCA crystals before, haven't you? It's like, like crash out and you separate and you're only getting the THCA. I like isolates. I like enjoying and knowing exactly, like, most of the time I'm a full spectrum flower person or rosin,
I like hash.
but I like hash too. I like rosin. But those diamonds are fun. That feels like Adderall of weed, like clear
I like
mind.
keep on the joint. Ooh.
Listen, I'm a connoisseur. I smoke BHO. I smoke CO2. I've smoked distillate. I smoke isolate. If it's from cannabis, I just exactly. If it has THC and you want me to enjoy, let's just enjoy. Like
I heard this conversation, but with
this half gram is for all you guys.
I had this conversation with a buddy one time, right? And we were talking about the different, strains and different types of weed. We got cannabis, right? The hemp. We got the sativas, like the ideas, right? The indica. We got Afghanica. We have even on the far spectrum like salvia. All sorts of different type of things. And so, we were wondering like the evolution of what we knew as BC bud, red bud, Mercer, some of those older strains. How would they do now in the evolution of what we know now? Like would people be able to turn like those old school red buds or BCs and things like that, those Mercy stains into something like super high potency? Is that like kind of not in its genetics?
Yeah, it is.
Anything can be bred. Literally anything. You just test it and breed it with other things and get it up. I mean, selective breeding that's how we have so many freaking strains right now. It's just, going for it. But the land races are definitely going to have a more wide diversity of secondary metabolites. So like, because we have been breeding for specific things, that's going to push out some of our more rare, so like THCV is a more rare cannabinoid, and that's in things like Durban poison. And it's really good. They're finding for like nausea and cancer and appetite and stuff. But like, we're not seeing that in modern strains that are being bred for, specific stuff. So definitely going back and bringing in landrace genetics and strains is a great idea to rejuvenate the DNA.
So then what is the market being put toward these days? If it's not for medicine, what are these? It's because like I see what I see right now. There's Oreo terps, there's like the Oreo strains, and there's like the candy strains. We're like, what is this market? What are they trying to get?
Honestly,
just flavor?
What it is it's we're trying to actually, because you're talking market wise,
not the real people in the market, but the bigwigs who are putting the extra money down and to try to manipulate this.
Like, who's doing that though? Like, that's conspiracy.
That's
not conspiracy. That's definitely not.
Consumers are driving this. They're looking for what's selling the most in the shops is going to be the highest THC, and it blows my mind because who goes to a fucking liquor store and is like, I want the highest alcohol beer there is, and then orders it. They're not like asking about other things.
And not just that. It's more like it's these newer shop managers now that are not educated in the cannabis that they're selling. What they're trying to do is please their bosses by buying the lowest price of cannabis and sell it for 3 to 4 times, 5 times markup, and the customer is not realizing what they're doing. It's being controlled. The market's being controlled by the shop managers. It's not the farms that are profiting from this, because I guarantee you, this year alone, there's been at least 52 cannabis farms that have closed down here in Washington State.
Yeah.
You know, and if it was the farmer's choice, they would be giving you amazing products for amazing prices. But these shop managers, they're literally looking at you like, yo, even though you got a $200-300 ounce, I could only sell it in my store for $75. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
So
look,
if they're going to
I'm gonna
sell
show
it to
you.
the store for 75, you're literally having to sell it to them for about $15 an ounce.
So
So on that
right here,
$15 an ounce, there's literally no money to be made when you're selling.
okay, so it matches up here in the chat. It says consumer ignorance is driven by the company selling high THC that wears off quickly. It's always the bureaucrats that drive the model and consumers second. So right here, this matches up with things that I've been looking at on the side. So here are the largest cannabis company like firm markets. The firm, bigger. They're the ones, supplying and funding and creating all these different smaller companies in the market, right? So we got a $1.46 billion Curaleaf, and it's down. It's in the USA. Innovative Industry, 1.2 billion. It's down. Green Thumb Industries, 1.2 billion. It's down. Tilray, from 1.8 billion or 1.08 billion in Canada. It's down. Kronos Group, it's down. So look at all the top 15. There's only there's only actually one market that's succeeding.
Okay,
That is
but
Village
hold
Farms
on.
International. So what are these guys doing? Because these guys are not they're not us. We know that these executives, these billionaires, these guys, millionaires, they're not us. They don't really care for us. They're just in it for the vapes and all that.
Hold on. Now you're looking at the wrong statistics for one.
But
You need to be looking at You need to be looking at Washington states, the things that actually apply to the state that you live in.
Right, but
Those
the
are like-
Washington State companies are funded by some of these guys. is what
No,
I'm
they're
saying.
not. They're not. I know over 90% of the owners.
At the top, you don't think that some of these guys are playing ball with
No,
the banks
bro.
of these
No.
guys and agencies and things?
Maybe, but honestly, no. Some of these farms in the industry are actually hardworking owners that actually put a lot of investment into the time.
Then maybe our state's a little bit different than other states, but other states are like this too. Other
But
states are
that's why I'm saying-
really corporate.
But when you're
Florida, Glass Houses, California, there's a lot of major players in there. There are MSOs that are just taking over and starting up shops. I'm sure there's got to be some couple owned by some of these major companies in Washington. But
so
there's a huge
like
difference
currently
between the cannabis community and the cannabis industry, and I'd like to say I'm a cannabis community member. The industry is completely different.
Rigging.
There's a difference, and that's the difference. That's what people don't realize. There's a difference. The cannabis community, we're actually we're a whole people.
Mm-hmm.
But in the industry side, that's where they're mixing. That's where people get things mixed. This is just business on this side. That has nothing to do with what we do in our normal lives. We're just trying to make a dollar just like everybody else. And I've been in the cannabis industry since it started. I've worked with multiple farms that are actually Dope Cup winners. And none of them guys were ever like funded by somebody else except themselves. And being the sales rep for these companies, I know for a fact I worked my ass off to get all these products sold in all these stores. When these stores are only putting like three to five to $1,500 orders, you're not making no money there.
But I think the important thing for you to notice and take notice is that you're seeing that mom and pop shops are all of these small family farm and small businesses are losing so much money, and so are the major industry corporations. Every single one of them is making money. Now, who has the most money that they can sit and keep losing money? So what they're
Right
doing is
now?
they're bleeding out the small business owners because they
Right.
cannot keep losing money. But these multi-million-dollar stock holding companies can lose money for a long time, and
And
then
it's
they
like
can
it's
consolidate
Thank you.
and buy up all the
I'll
farms
put them
that
in
are
this.
going bankrupt and selling because it's not worth it anymore. And then the government's going to take over with all of the rules, and the government works with all of these
So
companies to make money off of the stocks. The government's going to even know before they change the regulations and move things around. They're going to make deals,
Right.
shake hands, buy this, buy that stock. Everyone's going to be set up, and then they're going to flip
So
the script and
actually,
give it to them.
believe it or not, right now, there's one of the main stores that actually I work with, which is one of the number one stores, is the number one store in Washington State, which is called Kush 21. And in
Fresh
fact,
bowl,
in
baby.
Burien,
Yeah,
in
cheers.
Burien, Kush 21 actually has a plaza. They have a laundromat, they have a gas station, glass shop. It's all Kush 21. But they also own 20 dispensaries, which is actually owned throughout the family because an owner can only own up to 5 stores. So what this guy's done is he's had each one of his family members purchase up to 5 stores. The state has realized what he's done, and now each one of them 5 stores cannot be called Kush 21 because it is like a chain style. You know what I mean? They're stopping it. So now, like our Kush 21 here in Yakima has now turned back its name back to Sweet Relief, which is good because honestly, it breaks it up where people can start back to buying shops again that were wanting to get in this industry. So they're literally stopping these people from chain marketing the industry,
So like as the mom and pop
and that's
shops were
what
getting
they're currently doing right now. This guy was buying the mom and pop shops,
so
and
as
he
the
was
mom and
making
pop
them
shops
his.
were getting taken out, like what I saw in Seattle on the east side, no, the west side, uh over there a couple years, like last year, 2 years ago, was all these dispensaries getting hit, and all of these little, was it the mom and pop shops? I'm assuming it was.
They were getting hit by those kiosk boys.
Yeah, yeah, straight up. There were like there was a dozen or more, like 2 dozen different
There
shops, all
was
being
there
hit,
was
robbed,
there was
everything.
214 robberies in
What?
all. Yes, and they finally caught those kids that did it. Actually, 53 of those stores were actually sold my products, and not only did the store lose, we actually had to wait until those stores were rebuilt and pass codes so they can actually purchase back from us to restock their stores.
That's
They took a
insane.
major hit. They lost millions of dollars. Like they were shut down. Some of the stores were shut down for up to like 6 months. It was bad.
Queen, were you
It
showing
was
the purple
bad.
Oreos?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see if I can
Yep,
full
yep,
screen
yep.
here.
Purple Oreos.
Ooh,
Fucking
that
turned
sounds
out
nice.
great.
So talk about that strain. What is, like, where does it come from? What are the lineages? What are the parents?
Honestly, I can't even remember right now. I should have written this down. I
Granddaddy
have it
Purple and
somewhere.
Oreos.
Right?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's Seedsman, and they white label their shit. So who knows who produced this? They do a lot of Humboldt Seed Company does a lot of their
Purple
seeds
Oreos,
for
you don't
them,
want to
and
say.
then there's this like traditional market breeder in Spain who makes them, but it's like not, kosher there, so they can't like put like names associated with it, but it's good. I mean, I've been working with Seedsman for
What is
3
the what is
years.
what are the feelings off of it? What are the
Oh,
expected terpenes and energies?
yeah. I have a sinus infection right now. It sucks, but the smell, I was just trying to get a good whiff of it. It's kind of like cakey, almost like a fruit-filled, like Danish.
Pastry.
So it's
Yeah.
Sweet pastry.
so Purple Oreos is a indica dominant strain, 70
Yep,
30.
70% indica.
Yep, 30%
Yeah.
sativa. It's derivative from Cookies and Cream and Secret Weapon.
All right. Secret weapon. It is a secret weapon. I'm normally a sativa girl, but this indica is Feeling really good. It's relaxing. It's happy, euphoric.
A
I could probably
dessert-like
get,
flavor and smooth nighttime effect.
yeah, it's
Everything that she's
great.
describing.
That
I
sounds like
feel
a
good.
perfect.
My body's relaxed. I'm chilling. I'm
That's
like,
like a
this
that's
is
like a
good.
Yeah,
perfect little nightcap right there, purple Oreos.
yeah,
Hey,
that's
so
nice.
there's a comment over here in the chat, and I had a question on it myself. So it was to one of you guys. That's why some 5% IBLs get you more cranked off than 30% Mac 1 poly hybrids.
Yeah, so land races that have really low percentages can get you more high than the high THC polyhybrids because of the lack of diversity. Like, you know what we know is the entourage effect is the secondary metabolites, the bioflavonoids, the terpenes, all of these
The
compounds
cannabinoids and
that
alkaloids.
are, yeah, and that's what's affecting us. Think of aromatherapy. We use different smells and
I
different
love it.
compounds to induce
Black
different things,
pepper,
whereas
marijuana.
THC is just one particular high. Like I said, it's like the ADHD medication of weed, you know, the Adderall. It's like so clear and focused, whereas when you have these terpenes, so many different effects happen from them, and so you can get like way more high with a ton of different terpenes than just straight THC, for sure.
So can this be experienced in the same indoor and outdoor, like if it's a land race, or do we find better results from land race from the sun? Because as I know you are queen of the Sungrown, and
Yeah,
I'm
so
a huge proponent of outdoor myself. Like I
Wow.
started over the last 5 years, and I've learned from the sun and soil itself, and getting my hands out there and absorbing the energy, it's circadian rhythm with the plant, and feeling like, okay, this is how the plant is living naturally. So in an indoor setting, like, why would I? I need to understand it. Then once I start putting it, that's for me. I'm a beginner. You guys are grandmasters. I'm learning.
Yeah, for sure. So there are definitely always benefits to the sun over indoor lights, for sure. There was a study done in January of, I want to say 2024 or 2023, done by Columbia University that um, tested the terpene diversity in outdoor organically grown versus indoor synthetically grown. And I think a better representation would have had, rather than two variables, like changing the nutrient and the light source, I think it would have been a better experiment if they kept the nutrition as close as possible, because terpenes and these other secondary metabolites are chemical reactions that a plant has when it communicates with other organisms. So it's not just the type of light that's affecting um, terpenes, it's affecting the plant's overall health for sure. But terpenes and flavonoids and secondary metabolites like plant hormones are typically chemical responses to microbial interaction, other plant life. A fucking caterpillar biting a leaf is going to cause jasmonic acid that then converts into volatile organic compounds that increase different terpenes. So it's like there's so much nuance. It's more about the biodiversity of interacting with an ecosystem rather than just the single light source, because nothing in nature exists individually. It's this beautiful holistic cacophony of nature, you know?
And that applies to the what the plant absorbs. So I'm even thinking upon the mineral aspect, and
Mm-hmm.
how cannabis pulls minerals and needs different things. Like in indoor setting, it's very 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 controlled, and outdoors, the mycorrhizal of the fungi network in the earth, it sends signals. So like your plant's gonna know what it needs, and it's gonna maybe like give the signals to the other plants around, just the way trees do. And we know that from the studies that have been done over the last 20 years, and how trees literally send each other the vitamins and the signals to make blooms and blossoms, and birds to go this way and bees to go that way, and yada yada. Like, nature is far more mystical and magical, and in an indoor setting with this synthetic and very controlled, regulated, it's kind of what we see with the dispensary market. So like, it's a very very controlled, boxed in type of market.
It is.
And I do love that there's a lot of companies out there that work in the sun. And I'm not hating on all of them. Like, but it's strange. It is definitely strange. I would see that the plant wouldn't really be able to evolve to its truest potential. Am I correct? This is
For
what
sure.
this is kind of why hash rosin is always best on the outdoor sun grown.
Hmm. And it's the best ROI because
What's that?
outdoors the
Not just
cheapest
that,
What is
honestly.
ROI?
return on investment.
Well, honestly, also on even in the recreational side, outdoor is even better produced for making BHO because it just gives a better yield back. So I mean, honestly, it outdoor is amazing.
I mean,
Yeah, I
this is
really love
I would
outdoor.
imagine this is kind of why like the Hindu Kush and all that stuff like really thrives up there. Like a lot of sun, a lot of good natural life, and it passed down through its hash rosin tails, and we kind of got the derivatives of the Afghan Kush hash and the Hindu hash, and it made its way all over here, and we're thankful for everything. Um, what's your guys' favorite strains? Just quick read question for everybody out there.
Oh, sour diesel to smoke. I haven't had a good sour diesel in a long time, but that's definitely my favorite strain to smoke. So great.
Uh,
Lifting. I can do
I would
everything.
say 9 pound hammer.
Oh, I grew some of that this year. Crazy. Outdoor. I had one 9-pound
Yep,
hammer plant.
9 pound hammer.
Nice.
OG Kush for me. I can't find the original. I can't find what I was tasting 10, 12 years ago. Swear.
That's just it. Wanting something from 10 to 12 years ago.
But we know that there's
That's
like
like looking.
oh
No, because honestly, 10 to 12 years
no.
ago, honestly, the popular strains 10 to 12 years ago was like Bubba Kush, was Northern Lights, Blue Dream. Those were the more popular strains 10 to
Right, but we
12
can
years
still
ago.
find that Blue Dream
Now,
that
if you're
that
looking for
2000.
that OG original Green Bud from 20 years ago, yeah, you won't never find that again.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that sticky icky that Snoop Dogg raps about.
So some of these strains are really just ashed out and pushed out of the market and killed out, and we don't have collectors truly out there collecting everything. Is it?
No,
It's
no.
all a ploy.
Those
It's oh man, dude, come on,
those
man.
seeds are in Amsterdam, locked away in a million down vault that nobody can get to.
Right here in the
No,
chat
you ain't
saying,
gonna find you can't find no original strain no more unless you're going to the original source of the geneticist that made it.
we got
Yeah.
right here in the chat Kentucky Red Hair Skunk and Christmas Bud. I'd never heard of either of those.
No, me
Chris.
either.
Let me ask you guys this, and this is the God's honest truth. Everybody has seen this. Where is this rainbow marijuana bud that everybody used to post online? The bud that had like multiple different colors, the solid blues, the solid pinks.
That was
Those,
Photoshop or
Hey, no, no,
sprayed
no,
with
no, no, no,
something.
you
no.
see what I'm
Hey,
saying?
word
And
to
this
God,
is
in WSU in like 2003, 2010, 2012, or something like that, 2011, I saw with my own eyes a jar with the pink hues. It must have been like a very, very lighter purple, but pink, very like extremely pink purple, light purple. And I was tripping out because I looked at it, I was like, is that cotton candy? But like a dark cotton candy. Then he's like, he laughed his shit. He laughed the shit off, and they're all laughing. And then I smelled the jar because they opened it. I was like, oh shit, dude. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes, and I've seen a little
listen.
bit of blue tint
We
bud.
grow, and the only reason we're able to get that purple in our greenhouse, because we're a greenhouse farm, as you know, bro. We literally
Genetics.
turned 2,500 plants purple by opening up the air vents while the temperature is cold
You
outside.
can do that.
I've
That is a
never
change.
been able.
That's not the only way.
I've never been able to turn my colors from green to pink ever.
It's sprayed with something. It's
No,
not. I don't think.
I could only turn my colors purple,
you see.
I've
not
seen blue
blue.
weed. I've seen blue
I've,
weed, but like a light green, like whitish light green with a hint of blue. Like, yes,
yes,
I've seen
I've
yes,
that
seen plants
plenty.
grow. I've seen plants grow
yes.
purple from the
Yeah,
from the
I've
start.
seen plants grow purple.
Oh
From the
yeah,
beginning.
I've
I
seen
grew
this produce
some.
purple
From
from
the
the
no, no,
beginning.
from the start,
Yeah.
yeah, from the stem, from
Mhm.
all the way through. So these other colors do exist. It's just finding the variations. I would imagine, like, let's just say it's a hypothetical. Maybe there's a
I don't think
discoloration
that could
because of the
happen. I
soil,
think we're
and there's
I think
well,
we're gonna
maybe
stick to
not, but
what
I
we
think it's
got
genetic. I
best.
really think it's genetics.
It's
I
that
don't
time of
think.
the year that we're going to start seeing a lot of purple weed right now, and that's what we're going to be enjoying.
Well,
It's
I'm
just
just
that time of
saying that
year,
shit. The picture you're talking about of the sprayed with all the different colors on one nug, that's fake. That's not
right?
real.
Yeah, that's.
Everybody was like, "Where's that bud at?"
I mean, I have seen the
That's
very
the bud.
lime green, but
Now to answer your question about having the wheat, there's only right now currently one dispensary
the
in
lime green
Washington
brick
State.
seed.
Excuse me. There's only one dispensary in Washington State that currently offers uh, cannabis out of a vending machine, and that's Happy Tree in Prosser. And if you notice, you actually have a bud tender that's side by side with you, and they actually walk you through the whole process, and they got to do everything for you, and they actually answer the questions about the cannabis that you're
That's
purchasing.
good. That's very professional.
So if you ever actually want to ever actually experience, because it's close to where you live, just head over to Prosser, bro, and check out Happy Tree, and you can videotape your experiences of buying cannabis from a vending machine, and it's the only store in Washington State that actually has it available like that right now, at least on the east side of Washington that I know of.
Yeah, I don't like the vending machine models, like of anything. I just don't buy anything out of a vending machine.
I'm really thrown off by this. You don't believe that there's other colors. So look at and this is funny because you look at the
I'm
high
not
times. The
saying
back,
that there's not other
no, no, no,
colors,
no,
but
no,
I'm
Sunny over
saying
here,
the
Yakima 420.
okay,
Look,
okay,
so
okay.
I can't, not
I'm
Pete,
in my mind. I'm
not
remembering the
Pete.
High Times magazines from the 1970s, 1980s, and they're like showing the buds. These look like ass. These look like ass. Now, thank God, we've evolved and we have this bomb indoor. We have us all bomb. You
Hey,
know,
I
we've
can say
evolved.
this. I can
No,
say this to be honest. My strain of Tropicana Kush was strain of the month last year for Northwest Leaf magazine.
hey, shout out Northwest Leaf.
So I also have two Dope Cup championship first place titles under my belt. I mean, that's
So
all I'm
this
saying.
this leads me into a question that I've been thinking. Are we
Not
hitting the
just
next?
two, actually three, because one of them's a two-time year back to back.
I see all these advancements with the soils, with the lights, with the setups, with just everything, going from different ways to purify the water. We're seeing just better rosin presses, cleaner techniques, all sorts of different things. Are we hitting a next evolution in
Oh
cannabis?
yes,
and
yes.
and so are we going to see a better, stronger, pure? What is the next, like, the true next evolution over the next 10 years as to where we're at now? Like, how is this? How, because I know, for like I just mentioned, 30 years ago,
Honestly,
we're
we
hitting
can't. Ain't nobody can predict that because due to what's going on in the government, no, none of us that's in the industry or part of the cannabis community have control of what's going on.
yeah.
So we can't in 10 years we can't say what's going to happen. We can't say what's going to happen in 6 months.
Yeah, it's a
You see what
super
I'm saying?
volatile.
It is that's such a volatile. I mean, that's such a thing. Honestly, everybody right now is such on edge, and then these dispensaries are the ones who are, like I said, are the ones milking the cannabis farms that are trying
and
to
milk
produce.
and milking the
They're
society
milking,
with
bro.
how much it's being taxed, like, because it's like
Yeah,
everybody is having to go to it from local town, and like they're paying so much for their stuff, and it's like
it's a 30.
it,
It's like a 37 or 42% taxes to the state.
it's making these kids poor.
We pay the highest
It's
in the
saving up all their
United
lunch
States
money the
for
highest.
taxes.
um so, like, I'm thinking about the next evolution question, right? We've seen the freeze dried stuff. It, like, that just came about recently, right? This freeze drying the to
Yeah,
from
for the THCA to limit it from
what does that
it's
do?
It's limiting oxidization by stopping it and it's just drying it instantly in its specific chemical state.
So does that apply to hash rosin? What this is just what I'm
Oh,
like.
you're talking about hash rosin? Yeah,
No,
it's
for
gonna
the freeze
preserve
drying.
it in that specific state. When you're drying your bubble hash in the freeze dryer, it's stopping it from oxidizing and changing and being more like preserved in that exact state as it came out. Because if you air dry,
it's going to be more alive.
Are we getting more? I mean, once we freeze dries it from the stuff from fresh,
it's just going to have more. It's going to have more flavor.
Are we getting more return?
More chemical like potency and flavors, and it's going to be just preserved because oxidization means that things are starting to break down. Terpenes volatilize at 69 degrees or higher. So
how many seconds?
What?
Like how many? Like like it's oxidizing, right? How many? Okay. Okay. Essentially, then once it's in freeze dried state, it's also retaining all the cannabinoids, the minerals, everything. And so when we get in a hash rosin, we're literally seeing the next evolution of hash rosin. That's what kind of wondering my brain right now. I'm trying to think.
I mean, freeze drying has been around for a long time. So
what? I've only started seeing the last 3-4 years. What we're seeing with these.
No, that's just it. You're barely starting to see what people have been doing for
these newer technologies with it. Yeah, it's some cooler.
People have been pressing rosin for
not the press, but these newer technologies that we're seeing, and how what
I
is
would say more of a newer technology would be like in the last couple of years we're seeing the CRC, color remediation, and BHO, and spinning things extra to add air to whip it up, make it look lighter, because consumers just want lighter colored hash. So with hash rosin, people are cutting their plants earlier to make the hash whiter. Then the BHO is getting spun faster and color remediated and all kinds of shit. I mean, some people will have moldy ass fucking weed and be able to just throw it through BHO and remediation and radio fucking, I don't know exactly what they're doing to remediate it, but it removes all of the biological
they're just running it through filters that are just CRC balanced. It's just a filtration system. That's it.
Yeah,
that's all they're doing. They're literally taking out catching all the bad crap and pretty much bleaching what comes through.
Yep. Changing the color.
They're just washing. That's it. Just washing.
Bleaching? You're talking about real bleach. Isn't that bad?
No, not real bleach.
Oh, bro.
But they're using chemicals. Yeah, there's definitely it's going through a laboratory with chemicals that's being, pushed through a solvent and cleared out with, I don't know what kind of filter they're using, but I'd say that that's more technologically advanced right now than using a freeze dryer.
Have you ever had a chance to go to an actual just a processing facility where they use just BHO and CRC?
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the CRC, and I'm personally, I've seen closed loop labs though, plenty.
So pretty much, if you want to see if you look at the compounds of what CRC is, all you got to do is honestly check. You're pretty much using
what is CRC just for? What is that stand for?
It's
color remediation correction or something.
Yeah, something like that. See, I wish I had Trevor on here because he would have been able to answer all these questions about CRC. I know some processing facilities here in Washington that subsidize CRC with using unscented kitty litter.
Yeah,
you could. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And they're instead of using CRC, they use kitty litter that's unscented. And it's the same, literally, components of what CRC is, and it washes the BHO. So, I mean, it's a trick for what some of the shit is.
Bro, tell me what the company. I'm not gonna buy from.
I don't know, bro. This is just stuff I heard, bro. This is stuff. This is some of the stuff I heard from companies that don't exist no more.
Good, yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
But this is the bullshit that we have heard from these companies out here, that they're finding ways to backdoor and cheat, and they're literally even having I saw this from a rosin press award winner, and he's talking about the rosin bags, right? The seamed rosin bags, and how
Yep.
they're releasing wax into the rosin, and it's creating a residual, right? Because there's they're already
Oh yeah, I saw
pre-steamed,
that.
and they're
I saw
dropping
that too.
yeah, and so
It's like pretty much like the dropping a style of glue into the rosin that
yeah,
it,
yeah.
Yeah, so nasty. So now they're doing different bags, right? There's somebody who came out with another bag I saw, and they're trying to push that because they showed like I saw the side by side comparison of a dab burned, and there was like you could see around the ring residual from one bag, and then the other bag didn't have it. Yeah, that video is circulating on my social media.
see, and I got
Twitter.
some old school rosin presses, bro. I got the
Somebody,
when I
somebody
start.
said the flat iron.
No, when I started with the flat iron, when I started making rosin, I literally started with the nug and the flat iron, and then I learned I had to use the paper, and then I started doing it right, and then I learned about the bag, and then I moved on to the KP1, and it's the home rosin press that actually presses pretty good, and I was pressing like up to a pound out of that thing, and I was getting about an 18% yield back out of it on just flour rosin. And then I started learning about the home wash kit, and then I started washing my stuff, and then getting all the keef out of that. And then I moved on to the CO2 blast net that we had at the farm, and then I just started CO2 blasting all my flour 5 pounds to 7 pounds at a time, and getting all the keef out of that, and it was just we moved on to the bigger presses after that. It just got to be fun and more fun after I got to more having fun with it.
Well, I kind of want to talk about like what are some of the cheap ways that these companies out here are doing things that they shouldn't be, and like
I don't know what the companies are doing. Honestly, I can't speak for any company that I know of.
I mean, what have you guys heard out there, and how they're
Yeah,
faking these?
I'm not going to speak bad of any farm that's in the industry because
I
Okay,
will. I'll
if,
let you know. You want to hear Fat
let's do
Panda?
it. Drop
I
the
know,
bomb.
yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one that I know of that has made the news in Spokane is Fat Panda losing
Dog,
like pesticide testing.
dude,
Yeah, they
like
don't
that's
give a fuck. They will
No,
put moldy weed in. They'll pick up when they're harvesting any floor weed that's been walked on or anything. They pick it, sweep it all up in a dustpan, and put it in and process it with the rest. They don't give it two
listen.
shits.
Okay, listen. I'm gonna be honest, and this is gonna be honest, and this is gonna sound really sucky. If you're not part of the industry that's paying $2,500 for an event booth to give out about $5,000 worth of product versus, and that's including swag and actual cannabis products to people that don't give really crap about you. They just care about you giving them free samples. If you're not part of that scene and able to afford that, then you're not really going to make it in the cannabis industry. And that's the honest truth. If you
What does that
can't
have to
fork
do
out the
with
money,
floor weed?
it just sucks.
No, it's like this
Ugh.
this moldy weed from Fat Panda. I remember researching it myself like 5 years ago on their website, and I had to dig through all sorts of fucking links and everything on their website
Yep.
just to find it. And it said, yeah, here are the pesticides we use. And I thought it was gonna be one or two. I fucking had to scroll through a list. It was like
Those are
25
lists.
different things. And
There
I was
was
like,
actually so even just recently in the last I'd say 5 years, there was an actual testing lab that got busted for there was cannabis farms paying to compromise testing.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
like
here
Labs.
the Twitch chat
yeah.
the Twitch chat says they were using radiation treatment to blast moldy buds so it doesn't test for it.
Yeah. I
Listen,
sent you a link.
nobody got money for no radiation testing. Ain't nobody got no money to purchase for moldy bud to get radiated tested, and then no, they're just blasting it into CRC BHO.
Yeah,
That's literally what they're
somewhere
doing.
in Massachusetts was telling me about radiation treatment for flour. I can't remember her name. We had a conversation about it, but um,
I
yeah. I mean, I don't
That's
think it.
crazy.
God damn it, they're putting cannabis through chemo? What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. Cannabis is what prevents chemo.
Yeah. I sent you a video of a press on my Instagram, so I thought you could watch that. Show Yakima 420. I don't follow you on Instagram. What's your
Oh, no
handle?
worries. Yakima 420 Club.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just pulling it up.
Make it easy. I'll add
Oh, what
you.
the fuck? It just played and then now it just did horse shit.
Okay. I haven't made hash yet this
Yeah, it
season.
just
I
started playing, then
froze
it stopped.
most
Here
of
we
my
go.
outdoor.
Are you trying to find my page, bro?
There we go. That's last year's. Oh yeah. I love hash.
Who pressed that?
I did.
That looks
Oh.
fucking bomb.
So good.
Hey. Hey, the music hits with it. Good shit.
Right? That's why they pay me.
Hey, what's strain?
That was GMOGs, I believe. So I
GMOGs?
did
Oh my god.
GMOGs from Crop Circle Genetics. He's a fucking
See,
homie.
that's somebody
I
who cares about.
highly
Hey, let me see if I can
recommend
pull
checking
this.
out Crop
And
Circle
that's all.
Genetics.
And that's all outdoor.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
No. I turned my whole outdoor crop pretty much into rosin.
See, and that's what I love. I've gotten the chance to grow indoor, outdoor, and greenhouse, and I still love the way outdoor just shines everything.
I love outdoor. It's so fun.
Wet, drippy. Ooh, juicy.
So I got a crazy
You want to dab
story
that
about
all
this
day, all night.
harvest. So fucking Washington, it gets cold as shit here randomly in the fall. It's like
I'm just
you're
hypnotized.
waiting to see what the temps are. And it was probably second, third week of October. And we had freezing rain coming up, and I was trying to let my plants go as long as possible though, right? And then I started cutting down, and I needed to get it down in about like 5 days, 6 days. I'm not going to say allegedly how many plants, but there was a lot, and it was just me, and I was running out of freezer space. So I had 2 chest freezers, filled them up, and I had to borrow 2 more chest freezers from a friend. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Spokane, but I was driving north of the river, like downtown, north of downtown, and just fucking car
They call
pulled
that
out in front of me.
Spokane.
And I blasted like straight into the T-boned them. It was so fucking scary. They just pulled out like while there, I had no stop sign or anything. And it was such a fucking mission. I pretty much, that truck was like totaled, and I still had to get the fucking freezers because I can't lose my crop. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? So I sit and I deal with the cops and the ambulance and the report. I don't get, this is at like 6 o'clock at night, I don't get to the freezers back to my house till 2 in the morning, and I have to wake up at 7 a.m. and start harvesting and keep going 12 hours, 10 hours a day for the next 4 days until the freezing rain came. And I ran out of freezer space again, so I had to dry, like, I have my whole travel trailers filled with dried weed now. And I don't know, like, I'm probably going to try and blast it for BHO because I don't want to fucking outdoor flowers, just not, it's not really the ROI, the return's not really there. But it was a fucking craziest harvest of my life. And I just can't wait to make the rosin. And I hope it all, I know it's going to work out great and be wonderful, but still, it's fucking gnarly.
You know what was wild is I got T-boned this year by a driver. I didn't have rosin in my fucking bag or like anything to do with my mission at the time, but I got T-boned and the motherfucker ran, so I couldn't get his information. Now I was just sitting there. Yeah, my car was totaled. It was kind of horrible because that was the second time that I got hit. And it's like, okay, I'm driving as a delivery driver, and it's like I'm on a highway the first time, and I get hit sideswiped by a speedy driver who's trying to cut lanes and cut between cars, and I'm happen to be the car that he hits, and I get pushed off into the Meridian. And thankfully, like my car wasn't completely totaled at the time, but I was able to fix it. But same car, second time, well, it's fucked up, but I was even driving slow. I was all, and the car, there was a four lanes, and one of the lanes ahead stopped to let me through, and then on the other lane, speedy ass driver fucking again trying to fucking just swerve through traffic, because like the bystanders are like, yeah, guy's a fucking dick, he was trying to cut through all the traffic and fucking swerve and fucking do, you know, because they saw him from down the way, and then yeah, he T-boned me pretty much, and fucking
Damn, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's fucking, it's terrifying. It was really scary experience for me. I can't imagine being the one being T-boned. That would probably be even more terrifying.
So we're all alive, both me, you, and the people
Yakima.
that the people that no, everybody. Well, he ain't have right, but the people. Well, unless you killed them, shit. Oh my god, you like it? No, you didn't. No, I didn't.
No, I'm here.
No, the people who hit me are alive, and I'm guessing the person you hit is still alive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm live. It says I'm.
Oh man.
It says I'm live.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, no, it is a wild thing to be in Rexa. Thankfully, though, we're all right. I unplugged my headset, so you guys go and talk.
Okay, yeah. I got hit by a car last year, like my person. That was fucking crazy. I was like just trying to load my groceries in the back of my Subaru, fucking Trader Joe's parking lot, and this old lady just drives straight into me, pins me between my bike rack and her front bumper. It was so crazy. It's fucked up. My knee and ankle and hip have been so shitty. I've been doing PT and chiropractic for like a year and a half.
You know, I won't say this after I'm 70, but I don't think anybody older than 70 should drive.
Yeah. Give me a follow and that'll be cool, because we also host an event once a year called Blunt the River. And that's when we bring everybody that's just wants to come out for one good day of good vibes, just floating the river. You guys like it?
This year I was actually supposed to go, but I got in these wrecks and I died.
I don't know why I'm not finding you on Instagram. Yakima 420. I'm seeing Yakima 420 Club.
That's me.
River.
That's it. Oh, those are both me. Yep, that's both me. I am he.
I am he. He is me. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, cool.
So, how does when we're talking about like I'm talking about
like if you scroll all the way down to my outdoor grows, I was growing like 15 foot plants. It was over up in Brewster with Badass Herbs, and he was an actual geneticist, and he created like 26 different strains. And some of them strains, he blasted all of it. Like he personally blasted everything himself as well.
There he is.
And
right there's the tree, the 14-foot. No.
Yeah, they're trees. You have to go all the way down, bro.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just trying to scroll.
Yeah, there's normally around 500 to 1,000 people that just come out just to enjoy floating the river.
Oh, that's fun.
It's
a weed
my
event?
wife.
That's what's up.
It's something like that.
Okay. I went to Turf Float in Oklahoma, and that was like a float the river, smoke weed.
Yeah, it's been going on for 13 years now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just moved to Washington 3 years ago, and I haven't really, or maybe 4 years now. I haven't really done anything here. I travel a lot, but I'm not tapped in.
So currently, right now in Spokane, I know there is an event coming up for. There's a farm throwing an event coming up that's actually pretty cool. It's all rosin, so that would be a pretty cool one. I mean, honestly, I would love to introduce you to some of the people in the industry, and maybe everybody like you. Some of these people are really cool.
Hell yeah, I'd love it. I'm all for it.
So,
Like,
but like, okay. My main topic of the goal, I guess, today was this hemp ban. What do we and this federal change of
honestly, I'm all for it,
the
bro.
Schedule 3? What's that mean for the recreational and medical
It
markets?
sucks. The seeds and clones are now illegal. So home growers, this is a constitutional violation of home growers' rights to be able to access cannabis clones and seeds. That's bullshit. That should not be involved.
That part
Close
is
the
bullshit.
loophole. Get rid of the gas station. I don't give a shit about that. Hemp farmers should be growing for textiles, oil, hempcrete. Why the fuck are they growing for isolate anyway? Let's see some real positive change. And the people who are in the rec market, we have a healthy, thriving, I mean, not healthy, not thriving, but an established rec market that can supply the cannabinoids for sure. I get that. But don't infringe our home growers' rights to be able to grow.
don't impeach one thing that stops another. When you're trying to stop one thing, you're also including all these other people that actually grow cannabis for their own medical purposes or things like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I could just go grow my own and take it to a dispensary. Like, yo, how much is my weed worth?
You
I
used
wish
to
that
in
was the day.
California back in
Not
2014, 2015. I just drive with a duffel bag to the club and be like, yo, you give me this much. And they take it and they give you some cash and you leave. I was like,
not here in Washington. Here in Washington, you actually have to send an ounce of weed to a testing lab, have it tested for
oh, we'd bring our
pesticides
test
and all that
results
stuff.
with us. We'd bring it.
Yeah.
We get print off a bunch of copies, set it down, and be like, all right, what's up?
I know in Minnesota last year they made a law that it was legal to actually sell just as a consumer market, like door to door. You can sell neighbor to neighbor. It was like it was
That's legal
decriminalized.
or illegal?
No, legal.
No,
It was
legal.
legal. It was legal to just sell at your back door to your homies, to everybody out there in the city, and it was pretty much decriminalized to sell. I was like, because it was looked at as a farmer market type of vegetable and herb and all that stuff. And that type of law was passed. So I'm forward thinking, or I'm wondering, I guess too, are we going to start seeing all the states start now decriminalizing it because they need to start handling it themselves because they can't rely on the federal, the medical. Every state's gonna start applying for medical, because I mean over the last 10 years we've seen a lot of states just flip, and now they're coming to it.
There's some states like Washington still is a medical state. It's just not all the dispensaries want to sell medical marijuana because they don't want to give that discount.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
That's the only
California
reason.
still has medical. California, Colorado, they all still have medical, but there's rec as well. And people just don't want to, they make it like you still have to pay and go through paperwork. And then if you have your medical card, you can't buy a gun in some places.
Wait,
so
what?
it's like,
oh shit,
yeah, Colorado.
You can't buy a gun same as Washington State.
Is the medical market's kind of going to be pushed out? Have we kind of been seeing the dying of the actual medical?
No, it'll never die because that's literally the medical industry is very protected. They got plenty of fighters that will fight for the medical industry to the day they die.
Right, but if the laws are hinged and like we're seeing more recreational, why would people? I know a lot of people just don't even apply for the medical because now it's just recreational legal. And if all the states are going to be like that, but are we going to start seeing all the states continue this? Especially
I don't know. I have my medical card. I've had it since 2012.
Is weed on that side better?
Oh yeah, medical weed's way better.
How's it differ?
For sure.
No, it's just better. It's more. You can tell they put more love into it.
But how does it differ than like I'm asking you?
So I grow 20. And you can see on my Instagram, I grow 2,500 plants. Do you think I love all those 2,500 plants?
I hope so.
Or do you think I'm just giving? Or do you think I'm just giving them the nutrients to push them out and 68 days.
You're right. So medical single individuals and
So, like, for instance, in Washington, they have a medical cooperative program, and it's where
Yep.
4 medical licenses, can collaboratively grow on one property and have 60 plants. And so
Yes.
that medical weed is allowed to be shared amongst the medical licensed people. And so, but it's supposed to be for those 4, but it's, what we'll
Caretakers are
see.
included.
Yeah, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
subsidized.
So,
It's
60 plants versus 2,500, 10,000. You know what I mean? Homegrown weed is so much better. When you're doing it small batch, you are giving that plant so much more love, for sure.
I didn't think about it on that aspect. I mean, but that makes 100% like the corporate type of recreational. You know, you're supplying
not just
thousands
that. Not just that.
versus the
I
home.
treat cannabis even as an indoor greenhouse grower. I treat it like it's a conveyor belt now. You see what
What?
I'm saying? I don't put that love and care into each plant that I'm supposed to. I stunt grow it to make it grow as fast as I can and push it out with the highest THC flavors from all the nutrients I give it.
Yeah, and I have a love relationship with each of my plants. I spend 2 to 4 hours, at least 4 to 5 days a week in my garden, pruning, singing, dancing with them, doing my thing, filming content. And when the end of the summer comes, fall, I'm sad to cut those ladies down. I have developed a keen relationship with them. Um,
Hmm.
So I think
It's
that
way different.
I know energy is significant in everything in life. And when you're
Way.
imparting that kind of energy onto your plant, it's only going to reverberate out and then be present in the flower when you smoke it.
I mean, I'm a big proponent, and I on my podcast I've talked a lot about like the university studies showing that sound waves and what we say and vibrations and music
Hmm.
actually does change the health and rhythm of things, what we think, and so like it's the same thing
So
with plants. And
if you go into any grow house, it doesn't matter where it is, you're going to hear music somewhere.
and I hope it's not some bullshit rap, but some of these do.
Well,
Yeah.
some people,
I'm
it's
talking.
their preference of what they feel is good music.
Yeah, but the
You
plants don't
know,
always feel that way because like if you
I
like.
mean,
Nah,
I mean,
if you have plants that play, if you're around Beethoven and stuff, they're gonna grow better than plants that are
I
listening to
actually wrote
hardcore
an
rock.
article about this if you guys want to see. It's
Yeah, send it.
called Cannabis Can Music Make Your Cannabis Plants Grow Better? It's on Seedsman's blog. So here I'm going to drop it in the
And it's like
chat.
Dr. Emoto from Japan, where he did the research on ice and water and the vibration. So when you say things like "I love you" and things like "beautiful" and all this divine nature type of a sacred geometry feeling and essence and words, the ice and water particles actually form clean structures, geometrical,
It's
powerful structures, and that means also the water inside the cannabis plant would do the same thing because water is in cannabis. And so like that's what I mean by the lyrics.
me
Where's that link?
myself, honestly, I'll just put some Boys to Men on my speaker and I'll leave it, and I don't
Talking about
care
the
what
movie?
happens because no, just some Boys to Men music. I'll
There you
put
go.
some slow jam. I'll put some oldies on, and I'll like old classic rock. I'll put some Pink Floyd music on my speakers, and I leave my greenhouse, and we literally maintain them once a day.
Hey, Pink Floyd,
And
there you
in
go.
68
All
days,
right.
with the way we
Very
grow,
interesting.
we cut
Out there.
2,500 plants down. I don't have time to put that love into each one. I cut, I trim, and I stress grow. You know.
There's science behind the music, which
Vibration.
is frequencies. Well, vibrations
Hmm.
are frequencies, and the
Yeah.
specific frequencies are replicated in nature in certain
I'm
sounds.
kidding. Hold
And
on, son.
so, like the sound of birds in the morning actually opens the
Harmonics.
stomatas on the leaves of the cannabis plant because they have evolved with these specific frequencies in nature. And so there's things that you can do to manipulate your plant, but it is using a certain frequency. There was a French physicist that started studying like what these frequencies were for specific proteins. And so he studied these proteins and created music that was like in the sound of that amino acid or whatever. And so it was supposed to stimulate the production of the amino acid and whatever was listening to it. So there's all kinds of science behind this. It's just like there's been some studies that haven't, people just haven't really believed or validated and done enough peer review, but there's plenty of peer review in some of these frequency manipulations. And in fact, frequency manipulation is going on a grander level. On everything is manipulated by frequencies. So plants,
as we know, in the 1950s, the music industry changed all of our music from 432 hertz to 440 hertz to alter our biorhythm.
Yes, to create dissonance, because 432 is the natural frequency of the earth. And when you change the frequency by just a little bit, you create dissonance. So the difference between dissonance and harmony is being in tune and being offbeat. And when we are constantly being bombarded by offbeat frequencies, it's disrupting our energetic field. And so like 5G networks, cell phones, all of the Wi-Fi, all of that shit that's going on around us is a frequency pollution and is affecting each of us, even if you don't know it. And there are studies that the government is using specific frequencies to make us more sick, to make us tired, to make us more complacent. And now we just set up 5G networks everywhere to allow them to do this to us. And we're just like staring at our phone, letting the frequencies disrupt our every fucking day. So get off the phone, go in the garden, grow some fucking weed, and listen to the birds, because those are the frequencies that are going to bring you back.
It's definitely the frequencies also in the LED lights and these indoor lights that are being manipulated into the plant. Looking at like 432 hertz and like things like 528 hertz, these things are found all throughout nature and all throughout history. Even when we look at these geometrical superhouses, like in the archaeological sense, Stonehenge, when we look at the Egyptian pyramids, when we look at the Temple of Malta, and all sorts of different things that I always love to mention and talk about on the podcast. But also, if you look out there and you look at all the different nations, all the different cultures and the history, and they would say that nature is sacred. They would say that you can like get in rhythm with it. And the things that are very powerful about this is that it is healing. And when we have plants that are in a very sacred and powerful state, in a very healing state, you can notice it versus plants that are just like they're okay. And people have to apply more and more fake stuff to it, or sweeteners and chemicals and all sorts of different things, because they're not really understanding the true nature of these things. But it's like also for our health and the well-being of what's around. Understandably, I know when plants are in these more divine states, and the soil and the surrounding is in tune, we see things that are better, like the butterflies, the bees start coming out, and all sorts of things. That applies to history, that applies for us and our plants, our animals, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I just say this honestly, as a grower, I don't have time to like, because I sell to the recreational stores.
We're not talking about you.
I'm just saying, as personally myself, I don't have time to worry about frequencies of music sounds to grow my plants. I just want my plants to grow as fast as I can to keep.
Yeah, nobody cares about frequencies. That's why everyone's sick and tired.
Yeah, and when we're talking about these,
that's why I'm fucking healthy and strong and live in the country.
And if I want to, when I'm looking at even deeper on these frequency aspects, like it's 100% that these 5G towers our 5G towers, our cell phones, and even things that were forced into our bodies on a global scale. 75% of humanity has been injected with a frequency manipulator mRNA type of thing, and it is very powerful, because like this is actually what the let's just say I'm being 1000% honest, brother. and you may not see it, but the World Economic Forum and the New World Order want to go ahead and buy out all these markets, want to go ahead and shut down all the mom and pop shops, want to go ahead and cut out all the main OG growers that I know for a fact that we know over the 10 years, we've seen a flush of all the biggest companies, all the best companies, all the best growers. We've seen just a straight radicalization of this market, and this is what we want to do. I mean, what they want to do, what we want to do is fucking fight it. What they want to do is go ahead and fucking control this shit, and like they're really trying to go ahead and control the frequencies with the cannabis. If we're looking at like how I mentioned in the beginning, like it's genetically modifying the strains from all these universities and genetically modifying it from all these different organizations, and we're really going to see an attack. I hope not, but like
no, for sure, it's happening to our food, it's happening to our air, it's happening to our soil. We're literally getting sprayed with fucking toxic chemicals. We're getting bombarded with like shitty food. Everything is detrimental to our health right now. So why wouldn't it happen in weed? It's the same thing that all corporate bullshit, like you're saying, New World Order, the people at the top want. They don't want us to have access to these things that would make us healthy and happy, and because in that we have power, we have resilience, because every single individual is capable of so much. If we called into our divine power and we were actually balanced and happy, and we realized that we are the creators, that we can do anything, then maybe we wouldn't be so distracted and glued to our fucking phones and mindless bullshit arguing with each other.
No, we're not really arguing. What's the power of a conversation? Because I know, like,
I'm not saying you and me arguing. I'm saying the majority of the humanity is just arguing with each other.
That's right, and it's because of the things that's what's being pushed. Let's just say through society, we're seeing these things like Trank, Fent. We're seeing these fake carts. We're seeing Xanax. We're seeing all these SSRIs being pushed into our pharmaceutical industries and companies, pushed into our doctors' offices, and now a lot like 40% of population is now on some type of pill all throughout America, and it's changing their frequency, their biorhythm. But if we talk, I know I teach my family as much as I can about the frequencies and rhythms. I know I teach my viewers about the frequencies and rhythms, because if we go ahead and heal and retune ourselves with nature, our mind, body, and soul, and retune our plants and our animals, we can heal. And if we teach that to our youth, and if we teach that to our brothers and everybody out there, then we can actually make a difference. Which I've actually been able to make a difference. Like for me, over the last 5 years, this is interesting. I've been a fitness trainer. I went from 145 pounds to 195 pounds just by changing my tune, my frequency, my muscle. And it's like I've seen people out there at the gym in 10 years, they don't get the fucking same results. And it's not the same attitude, because they do more. They try to take more different creatines and bullshits and all sorts of different things. I don't need to take all that. I'm actually in tune and consciously in tune with all these things. And my family has changed. I know my family is also getting in a healthier way, a healthier state. My friends have changed. People have been able to thank me. They're like, hey man, like you've literally changed my life by helping me understand these things. You've helped me cut out the sin, stop getting drunk, stop doing all these different drugs. Like I'm receiving those type of messages, and it's so amazing that even now, like on a much more I guess now aspect is the Thanksgiving thing, where like, because I'm in tune, bro, like now we're able to give back out turkeys, and that's just the rhythm of love. And it's like the 528 hertz, like the 432 hertz. That's the rhythm of love, and we could put the same rhythms in our plants. We could put the same rhythms right here. So but this is a powerful thing. What is? Do you want to talk about frequencies and plant hormones, if you could?
Yeah. Where are we at?
Right here.
Hold on. Let me scroll to it and see what we're.
Because
awesome. Plant hormones are going to be changed by, like I said, terpenes and all different kind. Anything that happens to a plant is being recognized by a plant hormone. And so we can use certain sounds to influence specific hormones, because that is the direct simulation. And so we're studying what that stimulation is according to the frequency, and then how it can trigger different hormonal responses. So every plant hormone is responsible for a different type of growth or repair, where it's auxins are like cell elongation, gibberellin, cytokinins. These are all produced by the plant in response to something. And so by using different frequencies during different phases of growth, we can kind of just help it along a little bit faster. So like if you're stimulating gibberellins during seed germination, it can, increase root elongation, formation, growth. And so just doing the certain frequency to push certain plant hormones at specific times, you can just make it grow better, healthier, faster. And so things like if you're in a greenhouse or an indoor facility with the science, it wouldn't really be that hard to just be able to like have a timer with a soundtrack for certain frequencies just to optimize your plants, potential fully.
We listen. All we do in our greenhouses, we just put the music on when we leave at night, and that's it.
Well, it's not even music though.
When we get there, we turn it onto the channel that we like, and we
yes. Sonny, we're just trying to teach for the podcast.
I get it. I just put my 2 cents also in there, but you know what I mean, because I don't get all into the science.
I know, but we're just trying to teach. That's why we're all teaching each other. So this thing even also represents it, and I understand this because I'm a fitness trainer, and I went to the military for biology, so I fucking love how to heal the human body. What I know about us is that when we are in a very powerful frequency called happiness and love, we actually do produce extra hormones, extra testosterone, extra proteins, extra creatine synthesis. So our cells are actually protected, meaning that like when we are happy, there's a true thing to strength, and there's a true thing to having like a not sick body, and like being like ill and having cold all the time. Like some people are like, I see it, people who are sad and mad and like watching all the horror and getting in the depression state, they're always sick and having like runny nose and coughing, like their cell structure and immune system is super weak. It's the same thing with plants, and I know that for a fact that like we can see that the plants that are going under constant stress, what do? They die. And when we put plants in a very stressful rhythm, and we put plants in very stressful chemicals, and we put plants in very stressful patterns, we constantly change them and shift them and move them and do things that we shouldn't be doing to them, they're gonna die. And that's it's a powerful thing, and that we can just adjust just a little bit. I love
optimize yield. You can optimize, there's so many other benefits too, besides like a healthy plant is going to produce more.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to produce more for sure. We with the plants and with the nature, I think that even the tomatoes are going to grow better, the onions, for sure. I know for a fact, like I've seen an awesome radish and onion and tomato growth from me when I'm focusing and growing, like on the certain parts of the certain these my certain areas that I'm testing this rhythm on and stuff. Like it's powerful. Even the things with electroculture and it's in music too. So right here we're looking at the sound therapy for plant growth. 528 hertz. My birthday's actually 528. The love frequency. Yeah, I'm always in love. I love life. 432 hertz, Earth's frequency, and this is real too. This is not just science or wooey stuff. This is actually been tested and known throughout history, known throughout like all cultures, that they reference these things. And so it mentions right here 100 through 600 hertz ideal growth range. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that's just the sound frequency total is ideal growth. So if you get out of that range, then you're going to start having, like I said, frequency pollution. So think about like cities and places with tons of sounds. What is sound? It's a wave. So it's reverberating and vibrating and hitting everything that it's around. So if you or me or a plant to optimally grow and to be under that, you're talking about stressful conditions, like all these things are going on and it's chaos, it's entropy. And so the more frequency you have, the more you can get into that. So that is like the sweet zone, and you don't really want to get above 600 hertz because then you're starting to have entropy, dissonance, and chaos.
And I'm looking down below. This French physicist and musician Joel Sternheimer, who studied quantum physics at Princeton, discovered a way to translate the quantum vibrations of amino acids into musical notes. Each note in his compositions represent a specific amino acid, and together the melody mirrors the vibrational pattern of a complete protein. When a plant is exposed to a melody that matches one of its growth proteins, like cytochrome C, it produces more than protein. In tests, his potatoes plant grew up to 2.5 times larger and were said to taste sweeter. Even more fascinating, he's composed melodies that supposedly can inhibit proteins, could offer a way to suppress weeds or plant pathogens. No chemicals required, which is ties me back to like this whole Beethoven and Mozart thing, and then these classical musics. It's no doubt that when people have said for a long time, and studies have shown that when you put a baby, a brand new baby that you're birthing and you have in your stomach, or even your child, or even yourself, and you put this music around you, you're going to be healthier. You're going to grow better, think better. Your brain structure is going to expand faster. And so this would also relate into plant root system. So the root system would be able to be more vaster and hold down and be more structured. The stem itself would be a little bit thicker, larger. You would see more bud growth. This is how it relates in true essence.
I don't know. It's wild. I don't mean to cut you off, but I need to wrap this up myself.
Oh, you're fine. Hey, you can we're gonna continue for a bit, but tell them for now. That way we can get you on an out for our broadcast. We'll tell them where about where they can find you, everybody out there, because we're still live streaming. We're still live streaming. So.
Oh yeah. I just got it. I got to do something.
No. Just tell them where they can find you, everybody, and everything.
Oh, bro, you can find me. You can find just Google Yakima 420 Club. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm just a cannabis influencer, like I said. I just like to sell good weed to good people at affordable prices. I started off just smoking and reviewing other people's products, and now I sell my own products to stores and give people, a working man's high for a working man's price. I've been in this industry since it started. I literally helped get it so Yakima can have recreational stores here in Yakima County. And I was here when they kicked out 18 farms, and our farm was the farm that stayed and fought, and we fought to the bitter end. And now our doors just recently closed, but now I'm recently reconnected with a new farm out of Tacoma called Epicurean Extracts, and we're going to be bringing people some new products that are going to be amazing.
Hell yeah.
That's
Thank
right.
you for your service.
Yeah.
Hey, so Yakima 420 Club and I are on we would be on every last Wednesday of the month, but the last Wednesday of this month is Thanksgiving, and we're hoping to give it back to you guys. So if you guys could, please go check out the GoFundMe, go to our social medias for the flyers, and the sign up form will be in the description of my podcast down here. And if you would like, you can also contact Sunny for the sign up form. And if you would like that,
or just check out the flyer on the location on where we're going to be November 24th in Tri-Cities.
November 25th.
Oh, bro, you're killing me with the days. You changing it on me. I can't do the 25th.
All of them.
Not. It's going to have to be the 24th.
Or maybe it is 24th.
Day
Maybe I'm
we
high.
take-
Sorry, bro. We'll figure it out
right? I
after
think it's the 24th for sure. But either way, we're going to make it happen so we can get 27 families plus some Thanksgiving dinners. And appreciate everybody tuning in and helping us out with this cause.
it.
So
Thank you.
can't
Thank you
wait
for
to see
being
you
here.
guys. Yeah, 509 Divine Pine will be posting the date and time.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's on my social media feed more than
There you
I'm
guys go.
trying to do too many things right here in the broadcast at once.
Yeah. So all right, bro. I got to bounce. So thank
All right.
you for introducing us. Uh, I appreciate meeting you, and hopefully we can tune in and catch up and get to know more about each other and where we can, you know,
Yeah, definitely
be
collaborate. Let's raise our frequency.
yeah, definitely because I definitely got some seeds that you guys might be able to enjoy.
Hell yeah.
So
Thank you.
all right, yeah. So all right, bro.
Peace
Peace.
out. Yo, all right, Queen. I got the question because I was looking at the article still. Um, what different sounds for different growths? What would you mean by that? Have you tested around with that? Is there?
No, it's just like I said, using it's kind of just goes along with that same different frequencies for different plant hormones because different plant hormones are
Oh,
going
really?
to produce different types of growth. And so it's just saying, like, if you like, you know, how he was saying he played all this, you know, whatever random kind of music, like that is not necessarily going to improve your growth. So different sounds for different growth. If you want your plant to be growing fast and harmony and at its optimal potential, then you're going to want to use those earth and love frequency 532. Like, you're not going to want to have some kind of crazy metal, banging around in the garden, classical music, stringed instruments, bird song, yoga music, brown sound or brown noise, pink noise, whatever. But like loud, abrasive, distorted may actually do more harm than good. So it's not about just having sounds in the garden, it's the right ones.
That was interesting. Like mentioning even the bird thing. Like I'm looking at nature as a divine healer, but not just that. It's like it retunes us and retunes the plants around us. I for sure there's the love of bees, and when we talk about bees, there's actually like a secret harmony that bees get in tune because of how fast they flap their wings, and it's truly like a essence of healing. Like it puts you in the proper attunement, the proper frequency of healing. And beekeepers have a prolonged life. There's studies on them that they live maybe like 10 years longer. And I'd imagine that these buds, they might just heal you a little bit more and make you last a little longer. Is this
Yeah,
what they're doing
man.
out
I'm
there?
gonna have to send you some flour to try and you'll see. It's gonna raise your frequency.
This it's like talking about kind of how like music hits different vibes. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Sounds and people work the same way for plants. The waveform affects the nervous system to produce specific hormones. Have you
Yeah.
actually seen the mushrooms music? The mushroom
Oh
music?
yeah. Uh-huh. That's freaking awesome. That's what's so amazing and what's I don't understand. You're talking about like how you're teaching the people around you and like your family and that like I homeschool my son because it just
Yeah.
blows my mind that like what the public school system is not teaching anyone how to be a good human. Like I had to learn this stuff on my own. Like I'm reading white papers, I'm listening to podcasts and it's buried. It's not like people get it's woo woo, but everything that's woo woo is quantum physics. It's literally the rules of the universe. And we're not taught the rules of the universe. We're taught the rules of man, of capitalism, and not even the rules, but how to play the game to benefit everybody else. Cause we're not taught the tax loopholes. We're not taught how to all of the shit that the world leaders are doing. but like being a good human, knowing what frequencies, what kind of nutrients our body needs, like I've learned more about my own health by studying the plant and like, okay, these 21 essential minerals, what are they doing? What form do I need them in? It's the same for humans. We need the same fucking minerals and they do all of these different things. And so I've been like, hey, yo, like I have low blood pressure and when I get up too fast, like I kind of see black. And then I'm like, oh, well, I was anemic when I was pregnant. And so I'm able to like go through and connect all of these symptoms because of how I've diagnosed nutrient deficiencies in plants and then been able to relate that back to myself and being like, well, I'm getting enough iron. So maybe I'm actually locked out by like another fucking cation or I'm not having the right enzyme to absorb this. And it's like, we can learn so much more from nature by just simply studying it and learn about ourselves and then how to interact and create more abundance and love with everybody else than anything that's being taught in the fucking school system. It's insane.
And when we actually put our nature in rhythm, nature comes back, like the birds and the hummingbirds, the bees, the butterflies, the ladybugs, and different things. Well, because we know for sure, like the industrialization of society and all the rhythms of the factories and the cars and the loud musics and all this thing typically drives away a lot of nature. A lot of animals, mammals, birds, they don't like it. It's a disturbance. It's pollution to them pretty much. And it even goes into like how well these like the bugs respond, I guess, in essence. Like why would they want to be around a truly disturbing like sound place, which is kind of probably why we see less butterflies in some of these areas that are like extremely, filled. I don't know, maybe bees same way. It's like it is a thing. Do you see a like for
Oh
you?
yeah, 100%. So bees or all pollinators have different frequencies that they produce, and they can actually pick up the electrical current, the frequency from the flowers, the specific flowers. And so flowers will change their frequency according to how much nectar they even have in their inside of them. And so when they get low, the frequency changes, and this allows the pollinators can actually hear it and then can avoid from landing and putting their tongue in and looking for nectar, and they won't even do that. They'll just go on right by it and drop to the next flower that has the correct frequency. Now imagine if there's all kinds of chaos and frequencies going on, how much harder it is to discern if your entire way of life is about listening to frequencies to know how far to fly, where a certain flower is, if the flower has nectar. Of course, like you're not going to be around. That's why we see record breaking numbers of pollinators dying off every single year. We are like, this is a fucking warfare, and we should notice that what's happening to the insects and ask ourselves like how that is affecting us as well, because
Fucking Bill
everything is
Gates.
a fractal, right? As above, so below. Whatever's happening to those bees is happening to us on some type of level. It is happening, and we see high chronic illnesses and inflammation, depression, like more than any other time in history. Do we have all of these fucking ailments? And you have to ask yourself, like, what is it? We're nutrient deficient. We're frequency pollution, chemical pollution. We're not living in tune. We're not living in the right vibration.
Our
And
electric field is all thrown off. Definitely
Mhm.
our biorhythm, and people are not even attached to circadian rhythm much anymore. Definitely the sound of nature, where like there's been studies out there when people go out and walk by a river, by a lake, by a beach, in the forest, on a hike, on a trail, out in nature, there is healing that goes on. Like you gain a lot of energy. Like you gain a lot of energy, you gain a lot of immunity and all sorts of things. And when we're being taken out of this, it's completely destroying and wrecking a lot of people, and people are all thrown off. They're very lethargic, they're very sick, very, very stagnant. And you we can guess that even the health of the vegetables and, like, let's just say the food and the products of these places, these environments, are definitely the same thing. A McDonald's burger, like it looks good, but how about how low of a frequency is it really putting you? Like how low of a vibration is it really putting you? I mean, that's the truth of it, where we know that our frequencies are being manipulated, and our frequencies, and but by that I mean our beta, delta, theta waves, are our brain waves. When nature comes around us, so the birds, the bees, we hear the wind go through the leaves, and when we see just the water, and we hear its waves, right? There's rhythms that are going on around us, that are going into our brain. We don't hear like exactly how, you don't feel it, you don't really understand it. It just sounds natural, but it actually goes into you and soothes you. It's like a natural medicine that's been on for thousands and thousands of years, that our body has like woken up to, and we know that things are calm. We know that that's a peaceful type of thing. We know that there's a raw energy to it, there's a harmony to it that puts us in the sacred nature, and all these other rhythms, they don't. And uh I kind of think that we are headed to a turning point, like a division, like now in humanity. There's
Well,
there's
it's the age
people,
of Aquarius, right? Where it's the awakening. So we are seeing people starting to wake up and starting to recognize
but
this.
there's also people, there's now they're knowing it and choosing this alternate rhythm.
Yeah, well, because they're distracted. They're way too distracted. Our attention spans are so little now, and everyone is watching a reel, a story, a social media. They're consumed with distractions that aren't even real. They're intangible. They're made up stories instead of like actually being present in the moment. They're thinking about the future. They're looking at the past. It's not presence. And so, like when I moved to Spokane, it was the first time I'd ever lived in a city since I was a little kid. And when I was a child growing up in the city, I had severe anxiety, panic disorder, OCD. I was stressed the fuck out.
Yeah, before I
And when I
spoke
turned
anything.
18, I moved out into the mountains on property out in, fucking mountains. And I spent 10 years living in property in the mountains. And then I moved to fucking Spokane. And I was so anxious and unhappy and depressed. And it was literally the frequency of the sounds, the chaos. And as soon as I moved to my property I'm at now, all I hear is fucking bald eagles, 15 different songbirds. There's a river, the wind blowing through the trees. It's like it was
Beauty.
the first time I'd felt safe in 2 years. I literally could finally take a deep breath and be like, wow, I don't hear any chaos. I only hear peace. I feel so safe. I can relax. And I think if more people took the time to actually check in with themselves and to notice instead of distracting, oh, I don't feel good, I'm going to distract myself and look at this phone and look at these things and watch the show, they would actually notice that they aren't happy, that they are anxious, that they are stressed out. And then just making those careful observations of, when did I feel peace? Hey, maybe it was when I was doing yoga, listening to Himalayan crystal bowls being played. Or maybe it was when I was on a hike out in nature and I didn't hear anything. And then taking those pieces and like trying to actually bring it back into your life. But I don't know what's going to happen. We're like being pushed into cities. Everything's costing more. Land is getting bought up. Like, I think everyone should try and group together, buy land. That's the only thing that's not like, they're not making any more of it. Figure out how to get like a compound with your friends, become self-sufficient. Like, living is true health and
What I
happiness.
think, what I'm starting to put together from just everything in my own research on my own time, is that over the last 100 years, there's been a intentional biorhythmatic change, a manipulation, as I mentioned earlier, from the 432 hertz to the 440 hertz. That's not the only thing. It's the medicines, as we see, the pharmaceutical and the medical industry, and pretty much everything, right? So what this wants to do is that it wants to create an alternative rhythm, and it wants to put people on a pre-generated rhythm, as we see right now with these phones, these satellites, these computers, and some of these things. They're openly admitting in the tech shows and everything, like, oh yeah, so what we could do is that we'll send out a frequency, and we'll change the biorhythm of people. And if people are
Mhm.
on these rhythmatic foods, these GMO from Bill Gates, this completely nanotech food that has these biorhythmatic ingredients, I don't understand it really. It's a whole bunch of chemistry that I don't want to get into because that's some bullshit. I don't want to understand why these guys are manipulating us to death. Like, I'm here for the organic, but like, so that's the part of it where they're really understanding on the chemistry level that they're manipulating things, and they're putting people under a hypnotic trance through these frequencies all around. And it's the same thing with the cannabis too, where as we see in the medical, or not the medical, the recreational market, like these things are on a rhythm, a frequency. It's going to be into the mushrooms, as the mushrooms are going to start rolling out, that they're more from the government labs and things, and they're being given to the population. um it's even, man, this is funny, fucked up, and it hits me every time, but the water liquid death, and possibly even like Monster, but like the water liquid death specifically, in their actual statements from their website, from their they talk about it all the time, their interviews, or whatever else. They have a satanic covet in their main base, and they put a satanic spell on the water, and these things are literally being drank by people. So it's changing. I 100%, it's putting some type of hex, it's putting some type of weird rhythm, putting people in a weird trance, or some type of things that they don't understand, or maybe conjuring things into their life. And these are the type of rhythms that are also being beloved by what is, we know as this society. It's horrible horse shit, right? Because of the music, right? What we see with these artists, they're putting people in a certain rhythm and a certain trance, and a certain vocab, certain lyric, and these youth are acting it out now. I don't want to say it, but 6-7 and 6-7, that bullshit, right? These people are over here listening to the worst gangbanging type of music, and they're actually, now the youth, I see it more than ever. These things, this youth, it loves the idea of being a serial killer and having a clap back and killing their ops and like weird shit like that. And we see it with these like rappers like King Von and some of the stuff. They're literally, by FBI terms, labeled serial killers for having more than 10 or so different people killed by their hands, or they're killed by their tailings and different things like that. And this is the rhythm frequency change that's going on through what's happening with, let's just say, government fed drugs, government fed rhythms, put people in a trap, as they say. That's why it's called trap. The foods are even doing, the Taco Bells, the McDonald's. Let's just say liquid death by chance, possibly Monster Energy drink. It's a fucked up thing where we can see there's a real actual rhythm. And if I'm putting it on how I understand it best, it's an occult rhythm. It's a low frequency rhythm. So the occult have found a way to actually put this, reverse this, as you mentioned, the Himalayans, harmonic bowls, right? So ancient history, as I mentioned earlier, the archaeology and these beautiful, powerful, geometrical super complexes like, let's just say, Giza, Stonehenge, and all these different things, they knew how to heal us. Well, this damn occult over the last 100 years have found a way to use these computers, phones, and all these different things, these biorhythmatic manipulated foods and drinks, to actually change the frequency. So now people are not in a higher vibrational state, which history and our science shows that if you're like in a happier state, a higher vibrational state, a more conscious state, and more sober state, you're gonna be less prone to manipulation. You're gonna be less sick. You're gonna be less mad. But people who are stuck into these lower vibrations, they're gonna be more easily manipulated,
Oh,
sicker,
yeah.
madder,
And
sick.
pornography. I want to talk about that.
That too.
Pornography is a huge sucker of your energy and creating low vibration.
That
And
too.
it's just massive in our culture. It's everywhere on all social media and TV. And your Kundalini energy, your tantric energy, your sexual energy is a superpower that can be used for greatness, for change, for creation. That is like your God power. And we're just giving it up and spilling it all over like it ain't no thing. So there's your food, there's your sex, there's your air, there's everything, the music, what you consume. It's all affecting you and creating a more, like you said, more easily manipulated person. And so the things that you can do is to be a high vibrational person yourself. Eat better, sleep more, think positive things, pray to God or whatever you call it.
No,
And
not whatever you call it, because that is where I'm even thinking. It's my fourth thought. This reality is not a joke. Where we're seeing the manipulation of the images of these Baphomet and all these different fucked up things. These demons literally promoted all over social media, putting people in a lower vibrational demonic state. It's represented with the astral world Travis Scott thing. They're literally putting frequencies of demons and fallen angels. This is funny. Like I was showing a video to my friend yesterday that I've covered on my own podcast, how the emojis, the 72 emojis that we know on our phone, the original in the 1996 when they were first brought to the forefront, they were also brought in by the religious affairs of the Sultan of Oman. The Sultan of Oman is the actual place where in the Bible it says, King Solomon traded with the Queen of Sheba, and it was all mysterious with the nature of what the trade and entailing things. But if you actually read,
it was the Ark of the Covenant.
No. If you read King Solomon and the Lesser Keys of Solomon, which is a book that's translated and passed down by him. King Solomon was a practicer at the end of his life of demonology and how to control the demons, which he had in the book the 72 sigils of the demons. 72 sigils at the same time were passed by the Sultan of Oman, because the Sultan of Oman was the place of Queen Sheba, and that was alongside of the things. It was known that she eventually became she saw all the wisdom, and she wanted all of his wisdom. Part of the wisdom that he gave to offer was the books and the sigils and things of grand nature. She in essence gave him 666 tons of gold, and it was beyond a very mysterious type of trade. So literally by actual history, the Lesser Keys of Solomon and the 72 sigils of demons and fallen angels that King Solomon passed down were on these emojis. No, this is how it is with what we're going through with society. Now what we're seeing with all of Lady Gaga and all these different artists, they're literally putting people under a trance. If people are under these low frequency drugs, low frequency music, low frequency foods, drinks, and everything, this is how they're being put under the spell of like you are your own God. You can believe in whatever. There's only a few certain things of like higher vibration love and higher vibration God. The other people have the hateful God, right? And they still call it the same thing. We can't put that, because now we're seeing the separation of the spirit and mind. People are openly in 2025 becoming cats, dogs. They are becoming multi-genders, multi-personalities. It is beloved because there's a separation of the spirit. So many people are under a low conscious state. And I don't mean this to be attacking, but this is a low conscious state from occult magic that they can actually manipulate the mind and the body of the spirit. This is fact by the actual study from the FBI and CIA recently, how the fucking trans cult killing what they're called, the Zizians, fucking, they're so weird. The Zizians, Zizzians, they were labeled domestic terrorists in the manifestos from the fucking leader himself. He's saying, okay, what we do to go ahead and summon, or what we do to go ahead and empower ourselves, is we put people in a low sleep state. So they're going through insomnia pretty much. They're only sleeping 2 hours every few days, so that at that point the mind detaches from the actual body and they start experiencing psychosis. And when that happens, the leader fucking puts a second identity in this person, in these shooters, which is why 9 of the damn Zizians are in jail for murder. So because like they're put under a mass psychosis, a demonic psychosis, some weird shit, some military grade shit. And so this is what's happening even on a global scale, like throughout the musics, throughout the foods, throughout all of this. And it's the drugs. This is a real big wicked war. But like we're here, me and you, change the frequencies. And I just happen to have a shitload of knowledge because I'm a nerd. You see all these books? That's just a minuscule of what I read. I'm truly a nerd, athletic nerd, whatever. But like we're seeing a true takeover of the mind, body, and spirit as separation because people are having all these computers and all these different things. I try to shut off as much as I can and go and get away and shut down. But I know people are beloved by it, attached to it, because there's a demonic spirit that's on the other side of these things. And people even say it. They're like, yeah, you know, with these AIs, how many people have actually now committed suicide or killed their partners or killed their family members because they're like, the AI fucking told me, the AI tricked me, the AI, I'm possessed. And this is a mass psychosis over the last like 2 years. The AI, this computer revolution, whatever.
Yeah, well, you know what I think? I'm going to start a cult, and it's going to be high vibrational cult for everyone. We're called children of the sun. We worship the sun and God. What I meant to say with call it whatever you want, God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Yahweh, you know, just praise God, give gratitude, give thanks, be a good person, love one another as I have loved you. John, one of my favorite books. Read the Bible, read the Bhagavad Gita, read Hafiz Sufi poets, profess your love, say kind things, hug each other more, eat yummy food, be sacred, have sacred rituals. There is so much that we can do to raise the vibration and to just turn it off, like you said, literally turn off your phone, turn off your TV, go outside and be surrounded by love. And just that in itself is a reverberation of that higher frequency. And we can just see it. And so each one of you, and like using social media to promote it and talk about it, like I'm dead serious. I've been talking about starting a cult for a minute now with my friends. Like, let's just meet up together.
Fellowship. How about a fellowship?
Well, because I like the comedic relief of cult. I was raised Mormon,
but the ideology and the vibration of that can stimulate a false an enigma or egregore and identity crisis. You know what I mean? You might not want to have that on the outside. Be like, let's just say a big ass white Karen. Be like, oh, look at, they started a cult. Oh, these fucking guys.
Well, you know. I mean, it's not. It wouldn't not be a cult.
I think a fellowship is probably the best. Look, just for your safety,
marketing,
but from the government, you know, not knocking down your door like Waco and shit. Hey, man, you know.
All right. I'll consider that. The joke will be cult, and the website will be a fellowship.
Yeah, for sure. By legal standards, for sure, that might be better. Hey, so on your website right here, it's talking about strawberry banana grape. That strain. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, it's super fruity. It's sativa leaning. It's a 70% sativa, so it's the other side of the Blaze project. I grew it a few years ago, outside, inside, and then I grew it again this time from seed, so I didn't pheno hunt it. It didn't grow super great out here in Washington. It needed a longer, warmer season, which is typical of a sativa leaning strain, but it's really delicious. Sweet and fruity, and
sativas grow good in greenhouse in here in our state.
Yeah, but I don't have a greenhouse. You want anybody listening want to sponsor a greenhouse for me? I'd love a fully automated light depth greenhouse. That would be sweet.
Hey, there we go.
Let me manifest that. Bring that frequency onto the farm.
That's right. We'll go ahead and law of attraction right there.
Yep. I'm putting it out there. I've been talking to people. I've been asking, like, yo, let's do some collaborative marketing, because it was a pain in the butt just growing outside here with how cold and shitty the weather is. But yeah, strawberry banana grape. It was great. I haven't smoked it yet from this season.
The seeds, it goes directly to seedsman, huh? That's
Yep. Sungrown 10 or Blaze gets you 10% off. And we're choosing strains for next year, which I think, Mr. Grow It.
No, but
okay. He does Garden Talk. The people watching this probably watch Mr. Grow It. So I work with him a little bit on, we've done podcasts together, and he's now with Seedsman as well. So he gave me the Chill Out OG last year when I was at MJ BizCon, and now it's available on the Seedsman website. So I'm considering trying to do that as one of the strains for Blaze next year. It is like crossed with a land race, so it is going to have more of that genetic diversity that we're talking about. And it should, with that diversity, plants that have a closer relation to land races typically do better outside than a lot of these polyhybrids that have been bred over and over and over again indoors. So I think it'll be a great representation for the indica leaning strain. I haven't talked to him about it yet. This is just me dropping fucking, I can't believe it's 11:30. You know, I haven't stayed up this late and like so long.
It's all good. No, this is a blast. Hey, would you say that some of these strains, because in my idea, like, would some be different and better for hash rosin versus like bubble hash? Like they're different strains.
Oh,
Or
100%. There's different strains. I've got articles on that too. BHO versus bubble hash rosin. So I'm growing specifically strains that are known for washing. So what does that mean? You want
where's
to
that
have at least
article at?
3% return on yield minimum. If you have less than 3%, it's not really worth your time. So the way you do that is you weigh your fresh frozen material and then you wash it and then you weigh your bubble hash after it's been dried. And the things that are going to influence a strain that makes it a better washer is the shape and size of the trichome head and a specific relation to the stalk. So if it has a shorter stalk with a very narrow neck where it attaches to the head, it's like called sessile capitate. And that is going to be your best type style of trichome for washing. It's going to have a nice clear separation.
And what strains would be like that, just for instance? Is there
GMO?
Okay.
GMO is really well known for washing well. Anything crossed with GMO. And then also another thing is the feeling of the like the resin. So, sometimes when you touch buds that are kind of sandy,
Yeah.
the sandy versus the gooey sticking to your hands, you can feel the grittiness. That is going to be something that washes really great. So if you're not hitting that 30% return, anything less than that, I would say you're turning into BHO or just flour.
Bubble hash.
No, just flour.
Oh, okay.
Flour or BHO, but the bubble hash specifically needs to be that sandy gritty, the big trichome head with the small stalk. Like that's what I'm talking about. There's
and what strains would be better for like hash rosin? Best
bubble hash rosin, but that's
no,
what
like
we're talking about.
like live hash rosin. No, I'm saying so like different strains for so like bubble hash from the ice melt bubble hash versus live rosin press. Different strains,
You're
right?
talking about flour rosin?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Yes. Different strains would produce more for those type of different.
Really, it's all like I know nothing about flour hash. I've never pressed flour.
Oh, really?
I only do bubble hash and rosin and BHO. And so it's going to be,
bubble hash my
again,
favorite, but I
just,
do live.
yeah, live. So you're just pressing a flour nug?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've never done that. I've just
It's
smoked
bomb,
flour.
but the bubble hash is, I know it's bomb too. So that's what I was trying to get at, because I know that like there's different strains that are better for different things, and some strains, they can't do what, let's just say, a perp can do for live rosin. Like I know like sativas are different to press for hash rosin, because it's just like they're skinnier buds, and you mentioned like GMO is shorter to the stalk. So I know that different strains have different, they're better for different end results.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, like that's why you don't really see tangy flour, but you see tons of tangy pens.
Mm. Okay, yeah,
So,
makes sense. Okay, it makes sense now.
yeah, I mean, and then terpenes are going to influence it. So you have different flavor profiles. Typically, purple stuff, doesn't wash. Most purple stuff doesn't wash very well, but I had a few really purple strains that look like they're going to do well. And now, like we were talking about genetic modification, like Humboldt Seed Company, has been fucking with like the triploids and tetraploids. So they found these genetic mutations in nature, and now like like a single plant out of, they do like their 10,000 plant pheno hunt that looks different, and it's a natural tetraploid, so it has 2 sets or 4 sets of chromosome versus 2, and then breeding it back with diploids, which is the 2, and getting a stabilized triploid. And so they're selling triploid seeds, and the triploid seeds are supposedly, because they have that extra chromosome over the typical diploid, having bigger plants, more masculine, like rigid, bigger trichomes, more resin production. But that was what they hypothetically had hoped to see from this. The first year of Blaze, we did the triploid, and I did not see a more vigorous plant. We had a ton of herms. We had a lot of genetic uncertainty because of the mutation. So, but it was a cool science experiment, right?
But like is that where the curling of the leaves come in?
No, that's like hop latent viroid will do the curling of the leaves. This just
what were the
we
genetic
just saw
mutations
a lot
then?
more herms because there was an extra chromosome. So that makes sense, right? There's more genetic variation, more DNA. So we saw some herms.
There's a strain that piques my interest, and I don't really understand it too well, but the Freak Show strain. Have you seen that? And what's unique about that?
That's another genetic mutation, and there's a
It's a
whole
mutation?
It's a mutation from the plant, just different leaf shapes. So there's duck-leafed plants. There's a whole group of people who grow mutated leaf plants. Like, so you'll find there's all kinds of plants. It's just a mutation.
That's not like the bonsai. The bonsai plants, the people are doing little mini plants. Those are actually cool.
Those are pretty cool. I would like to do that, but I need an easy cloner because you have to water clone it versus in the soil, so you can get the roots all long, and then you put it over like a crystal or a figurine or whatever, and they grow the roots out and make it look all you know what I'm talking about. You're looking
not really. No, not the water clone. What the I mean, I've seen people do the manual bonsai thing where they like bend it themselves around like a coil, but
yeah, I think it's like this guy Gold Dust Ranch on Instagram. He does amazing bonsai with the water clones.
So right here, the comment says pressed flour has too many lipids, make bubble hash.
Yeah, it's because the lipids are fats.
So can you explain that? Was this why you prefer bubble hash? Yes.
Oh, 100%. I don't ever even smoked for pressed flour before. I'm about bubble hash only.
Girl, you changed my mind. What's up, man? I didn't even know.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to send you some bubble hash too with this purple Oreos.
I've been fucking with hash rosin and live rosin press just from flour, and I'm loving it. But like, there's better. I know that. Like now it makes sense though that there's a level to it.
Yeah, because you're washing it in ice water, and think about what happens with fats in cold water. Like they congeal, right? And so you're able to separate it. They harden and then are able to separate. And so you're literally collecting only the purest, literally just the heads of the trichomes is all bubble hash is. So in that video, when you're showing the, powder, the white powder, that was bubble hash. That was just pure resin, cannabinoids, trichome heads. There's no contaminants, there's no fats, there's no there shouldn't be any chlorophyll. I've had some fucking shitty bubble hash and that tastes like chlorophyll, and that happens because they wash at too high of a temperature. You need your shit to be super cold, stay frozen the whole time, and wash under 40 degrees. It's a fucking labor of love, and I don't start washing until it's highs of 40 outside. So that'll be happening here in the next few weeks because it's been pretty warm fall. But I got to get through it.
I'm gonna turn all my stuff into bubble hash. I've been testing my stuff, different things. I'm gonna turn it. That's pretty awesome. What, like, have you tried the Sitka hash? Never. It's known, I guess, Sitka, like the city over there in Alaska.
What's it? How's it made? What is it?
It's a company, but I think they also have their own No,
I
they
don't.
they also have their own.
I
They also have
only
their. No, they also
smoke
have their.
my own weed
It's
and
an
my
old.
own
It's an
bubble
old
hash.
company, but it also have their own method. I think. Let's see if I'm
Okay.
correct.
Because I'm not. I'm like I said. I bake my own bread. I eat my own eggs. I fucking
Oh, it's
fish
the
for salmon.
Lebanese
I'm
style
not.
hash.
It's a Lebanese style hash. So is it what, like a finger hash kind of a thing, or like dry sift, or some kind of like a
Here, I'll show you. Let's see it.
old
Yeah.
timey hash?
What is the difference? Like, so how what would be the difference in quality from the bubble hash to like the Lebanese style hash? Way better for sure.
I mean, I just like
So,
live rosin, I should say, like living plant, fresh frozen. When you cure a plant, it just changes. Um, it doesn't. Cured flower is different than the fresh flower. If you've grown weed and you smell your plants as it's fresh, that's the smell that you get and the flavor profile you get from bubble hash rosin. It's so much more reminiscent of the living plant, whereas anything with dried rosin or dry hash, sorry, is cured, has a completely different profile, and it just doesn't. It's just not the same. I just prefer the live living flavors and dry
sorry, I keep.
sift. He says, I
Yeah.
like dry sift. You get everything that way. So dry sift would be like, they'd use like static to separate it. But even like when you trim in the bottom of the trim bin and then you get all of the keef, I think that you can make, I'm not super familiar with dry sift. I've just seen some different people doing different things. Like I said, I do bubble hash. I'll do RSO sometimes, or ethanol, like Everclear extraction. I've blown BHO once before I knew it was dangerous with my ex-boyfriend like 9 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't discriminate against concentrate. I'll try it. I'll try anything once.
Yeah, the Lebanese hash is like the old school hash. So like people hand press it, or how? Because I know that people also put it over and over, like with boards or different things.
Yeah, and press
So
it out and age it. And there's even like fermented.
dry sift. That's how it is. They dry sift out all the key plant material, the good stuff, and so
Mhm.
that would also keep the lipids in. Yes,
I mean,
the
there's not
fats.
going to be like when think about when you're pressing a flour, there's way more fats because that's the entire plant material and you're heating it up. So the fats are going directly into like with the hash. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
dry sift is
and
not going to have as much of that because it's separating it from the plant material before doing anything with it.
okay. But then the bubble hash would be a next step above where it'd clear out more because the
I
ice
mean,
specifically is pulling.
so
Yeah, it's pulling.
this
I'm guessing.
guy is saying that he prefers some positive things that dry sift captures because that is true. It's going to remove some things as well, but it's to each their own of their preference. And so temperature is going to be a huge impact on, and water is a solvent, right? I love that people call it solventless, and yet water is like the greatest solvent of all time. But yeah, I mean, personal preference. I haven't even I don't even think I've smoked dry sift, so I don't even know. I can't speak on what my personal preference would be for that. I have just smoked, bubble hash, rosin, isolate, BHO, ethanol, um, hydrocarbons mostly, besides bubble hash.
I think I
Yes.
had some RHO, some refined honey oil one time way back in the day. It was gas, so gas.
Mm. I
Those,
really
those,
don't. You know what I don't miss is shatter. I hated
yeah,
making shatter and having to package that up. That was like the worst thing, to package up a gram of fucking shatter. It's like, God.
no, it's definitely some of the things I definitely don't miss. Old school smoking out of apple and stupid shit.
Or aluminum can. I can't believe
Oh
people
no, that's
do
the first time I
that.
ever did. It was on 420 with some older buddies, right? And they
Oh,
were passing around. I looked at it, I was like, fuck. I was like, damn, I got stuck with this shit. Because like I already kind of knew for movies, like, you know, like bongs or versus cans and different shit, and just, you know, friends and everything. And they passed. Oh, like, fuck, you know, because that's all we had. And that night, man, we got back to the place, and that was the first time I ever smoked. And they let
oh
down some
no.
munchies. We were all fucking gimming it, and I couldn't stop eating. Yeah, I really couldn't stop eating. Like the second time, I took like a month break or something. The next time, it was earlier in the day, so I was like, maybe, you know, I'll feel a little bit better. You know, we smoke. It was just me and one homeboy this time, and then the munchies got worse. I knew. I was like, God damn, like this is really what it is. And I didn't stop though. I loved it because I worked out a lot, so
Oh,
it helped me. You know, I enjoy food and working out, and how cannabis blends with certain flavors and certain terpenes. Have you ever looked into that, and how like certain foods are paired better with certain terpenes and different flavors and strains?
I mean, I've
Like
seen
with
like chef
cocktails, even mix.
tasting dinners and isolating different scents for different things, but I haven't really gotten into it. I mean,
The terpene
I
research, not too much.
I
You don't
mean,
look in the
I've the terpene research, like the medicinal benefits of different terpenes, I've looked into, but not like pairing with food necessarily. I mean, I know like, oh, like myrcene is going to be more like earthy mango flavor. So I guess maybe then you would want to like do myrcene terpene in a mango sorbet. I don't know. I mean, if I'm just going off, maybe like beta caryophyllene is like earthy, spicy. Maybe we want something more savory, but I've never really before this conversation thought about like pairing specific terpenes with foods.
well, because I
I
know, like when I smoke and different strains, I have different tastes for different things, and like, you know, if I'm like really smoking on some powerful sativas, I'm gonna want something more softer and subtle, or you know, not so much super indulgent-y, versus if I'm like on some like, yeah, I'm like myrcene and indica type strains and terpenes, because like that's how it generally is. So for me, I've actually have like researched a bit on terpenes and their flavonoids. Flavonoids are the compounds that are all throughout life and all throughout everywhere. Literally, it's not just in cannabis. That these flavonoids or terpenes are actually mentioned. When we look at terpenes, they're literally things like vitamin C, and we look at oranges, apples, with bananas, even the you know, fir trees and trees around us, plants, roses, all sorts of things, vanilla, chocolate, everything is filled with terpenes and flavonoids around our world, and it's the flavors of life on our taste buds, and you know what we're breathing in, tasting in, thinking, and how we're producing things. So like um I haven't started like doing it on a chef level, but I do notice myself and how like when I'm, yeah, on different strains, I do get different tastes for certain things, and it's in rhythm where I'm like, you know, I can notice myself and balance myself a bit better for sure. And I would imagine that the more that we see uh these destructive plants, the less you know, like the recreational plants, the recreational stuff, and how it's very boxed in and out of rhythm, and it's not very structured. These plants are going to be giving people a lot of like, you know, off rhythms and off patterns and off frequencies, off thoughts. But like your plants and stuff would be like very on thoughts, on rhythms and everything. Like when did you really start noticing how to like when did you really start tapping in with the frequency stuff? Because I fucking love that. But like that's super dope. For me, like it's been the last like, I don't know, 4 years. I've really started honing in with this podcast and understanding it more. But like I've yeah, yeah. When
yeah,
did you
I
really start
mean,
changing with your plants?
well, I started changing my frequency when I was 21 years old. I stopped eating fast food. I stopped
Fuck
using
yeah.
chemicals on my skin. I like fragrances and anything artificial. I started doing acid, and I just got connected to nature. And then I went to school for a little bit for environmental science and natural science, and I just would like get high and study nature. And the more I learned about nature, the more connected I became with it. And then I started growing weed with my ex, and he was growing like salty indoor weed, like low vibration, low frequency. And I was like, why would I, when everything else in my life, I'm like trying to resonate as high as possible, why would I, want this? Like, I used to buy only organic weed before that. And so I started getting into growing organically, high vibration. We actually bought a BioWave, which is a device that is producing a certain
I
frequency.
saw
It
that.
spins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is that?
Well, it's hard to say exactly. I don't know if it's woo woo or real
I don't.
because
Hey, not here, man. And
no, I'm not saying like that the frequency is woo woo, but I'm saying like I don't know if they verified that that machine is the specific frequencies that we would necessarily need, or if they're just going off of like, oh, we know that people believe in this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure if that company
So does it
specifically
produce a
has.
sound? Does it produce a sound?
It does a very
Okay,
low.
then you could probably put it to a recording and put it online to an app or some
Yeah.
website and check the frequency.
Yeah, I should have done that, but I was,
All
25
right,
at the time,
so I'm here to
26,
help.
and didn't but I believed it then. Now reflecting back, I just believed it at face value, and I don't know, I didn't have the verification that it was truly the right frequency, but it was supposed to open the stomata and have a more gas exchange and also be pest resistant for specific bugs. And so that was like the first introduction, 2016, of using frequencies in my garden. And then I've just been, I'm on a life, I'm Aquarius, I'm awakening. I am on a lifelong quest for spiritual Christ consciousness. I'm trying to reach nirvana. I mean, I'm doing whatever I can to get to the top, man. And I want to
Hey,
bring everyone with me.
hey, I'm down to start a secret society with you.
Hell yeah.
Let's
We
go.
should just have a show once a month on that. Fucking
Yeah, I'm with
teaching
it.
good things, positivity, scripture, motivation. We need more of that.
Absolutely. I think that's powerful right there that there's like-minded individuals here within our state. For a while it was looking like there's not a lot of West Coast people who want to stick up and do talk about frequencies and changing vibration with, especially in such a already um you know distinguished topic, cannabis, in the industry that we're already in. What's this right here? Just don't offer Kool-Aid. We are not offering Kool-Aid in our secret
There's
society.
red dye number 40 in there, motherfuckers.
Hey, no, that's not right. Hey, I do think that like what we're seeing in these recreational markets is shit like that. It's completely destroying the rhythms of people, the thinking of people, the neurons and everything. It's pretty bad. When's the last you never smoked it? You never smoked any of this recreational shit out here? When's the last time ever?
No, I mean, when I used to sell weed to the dispensaries in California, I would sometimes get edibles or lube or something from the dispo and, consume that. But I make my own bubble hash. I make my own I grow my own weed, edibles. I'm not trying to, I smoke other people's weed and I'm like, get
Okay.
kind of like anxious and icky
Ah.
thoughts. And I'm like, I need my weed.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, look at I'm looking back at some of the comments right here. We're gonna read through them. Sounds in people work the same way for plants, and the waveform affects their nervous system. Produce. Okay, I read that. Okay, my bad. Once you break down reality to distortions of electric frequencies, then apply it to the ground, anything else in the world, it makes applying the same theory as rule of measure that you would to other living objects. Like animism, is that what I would believe? Animism is this idea in the ancient cultures that everything is living, like around us, that there's some type of ions, electrons, living force, consciousness. Because like metal and wood and all these different objects. You know, I mentioned even the technology has like occult symbolism. In the 1990s, some of the main processors and main computer systems, GPUs, CPUs from the main like companies on their first original ones, they would put occult symbols and occult words on them on the complete original ones just to signify what they really were. And it's like this where we're seeing it everywhere. Like what like animism is in everything, I guess, in a sense, like bad and good. What so to distortions of electric frequencies? Um like why would we want to distort it though, idea in a sense? It makes the nature states chaotic too. The reason you see birds circling power stations is because the hump fucks up their navigation. Yeah, that's right. The electromagnetic frequencies. But this one tripped me out right here. McDonald's bought the IP rights to a frequency generator system that is able to use the ionosphere to mass project commercials in people's dreams through direct energy reflection.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. But if you think about it, like the ether or the space that we don't see, like everything that's around us, there's more going on that we can't see than what we do see. And so that energetic field, everything around us, there's things like he's saying that you can use the ionosphere to mass project things into it. You can use that ether, you can use that field, and they're using frequencies to do that, and it's traveling through it. And what we talked about with the 5G and being able to manipulate people's moods and make them depressed and do all of this shit. I wouldn't put like that doesn't even surprise me that McDonald's would do that. Fucking golden arches. They're trying to get into like there's everywhere in every country, little kids, it's like propaganda and brainwashing and yeah, it's like how do you step outside of that? You have to make the decision and separate yourself and like teach other people why it's bringing them down and not just say it like and do it in a kind and loving way though that's like not demeaning or making anyone feel dumb, but like they're trying to poison you, they're trying to get you down, and a lot of people think I'm that's not
No, trip
everybody's
out.
like
So
that.
this is a real article. And I actually have read this over the last 10 years myself. So companies will be able to take over dreams with commercial scientists warn through techniques such as TDI, which is targeted dream incubation, using specific audio and visual stimuli such as movie, colors, imagery, sounds, even just through the frequencies that they have on their 5G towers. If they play a certain rhythm out in a low frequency, it can attract people who are in those low frequencies. So this TDI will use audio and visual stimuli to induce specific imagery and sounds into the brain in these beta, delta, gamma waves and theta waves, all these different things. Our dreams cannot become just another playground, warned the federal warned scientists, and urging the U.S. Federal Trade Commission to revisit its policies banning subliminal advertising that includes ads that creep up in your sleep too. The potential for misuse of these technologies is as ominous as it is obvious. It's not just about the subliminal messaging that you see in the dreams. Like literally, it's the sounds of the computers and the frequencies of the generators and the towers on these places, and it's pretty wild that he's 100% right. I didn't know that what he's saying right there. McDonald's bought the IP rights to a frequency generator system. It sounds about McDonald's ish. Considering, did you ever hear about why McDonald's smoothie machine never worked?
No.
So they actually are in bed with the smoothie machine like fixer repairer company. So like the more that they mess up, the more that the repair company has to do, right? The more that the repair company has to take them in. but every time that the repair needs to happen, it's out of the pocket of the actual local manager. So it's actually making the actual local like the local owner, like less rich. And so these dudes are like fucking pissed because it's knowing it's only happening to them because the McDonald's specifically has a contract. They're owned by the same people, so the money scheme is running through them, and it's like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
owning both sides. Yeah, McDonald's is very very wicked like that.
Yeah, most
Um,
major corporations are. You don't get to the top because you're doing good. That's for sure. But I'm
um,
gonna have
yeah,
my
yeah. I was about to
dreams right
say
now.
it is a good night to wrap it up. It's been maybe I don't know 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and who knows. Nah,
Yeah.
tell everybody out there what you got coming up. Anything that you want, and if you're down, we can go ahead and have a monthly episode, and we'll cover all sorts of different things that are not just cannabis, but also very enlightening for humanity. And I'm me and you will definitely have billions of things to talk about. I can already tell.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I love it. So everybody listening, you can find me at queenofthesungrown.com. For writing and classes and articles and the Blaze project. I also have a nutrient line at happyplantorganics.com. And I'm also a realtor. So if you need to buy or sell property anywhere in the United States, holla at your girl. And that's
Holy shit,
rootedacresrealestate.com. So holla. And we'll be
that's pretty
back.
wild.
YouTube. Let's do it. Dropping the
Hey,
Future,
flipping
Fellowship, Secret
houses.
Society, Children of the Sun coming soon.
Hey, you jumping into all the pools, flipping houses, digging up the gardens, trying to find the gold and everything, all the
Hell
places. What
yeah.
like what? So how's that really work for you? What do you like? Like, are you going to the locations all around the country? You said, or
No. I can just help find. So, what I'm doing is I got my real estate license in Idaho and Washington, and I'm focusing on helping homesteaders, growers, gardeners, back to the land, self sufficient urban farmers, whoever, first time home buyers, just try. And I think land and self-sufficiency is one of the most important things that we can do right now. And so helping connect them with lenders to qualify for rural loans, FHA, USDA, rural development, creative financing, whatever it is. Like, I'm just connecting the dots, connecting people. Wherever you are in the country, you need help, reach out to me. I'll find a lender, I'll find a realtor, I'll help you find a property. Because I believe that everyone should have their own land, their own place to call home and do whatever the fuck they want.
I fucking all for that. Yeah. Like that's pretty wild. That you're fucking amazing. So yeah, go check
Thank
her
you.
out on Queen of the Sungrown, Instagram. Where else?
YouTube,
Facebook.
website. Yep.
All right, queenofthesungrown.com. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Like, subscribe, share, tell everybody around that this happened, and be blessed, be high. See you guys next time on the 509 Divine Podcast. Peace.